We'll be done in a moment.
And then a giant sea snake swam up and bit my arm off. The gods have spoken. A sacrifice is needed.
To my mind, it's about you defeating a snake, Jarl.
No, they demand a sacrifice. I'm sure of it. It's time.
We must wait for a clearer sign. At least till your next dreaming.
I don't need no more signs.
Yes, I did, Gary. Enjoy your food.
Looking for Saris. Heard she stayed here.
Uncrate's daughter. Aye, she was here.
Where is she now?
What?
Saris. Where's Saris?
Dunno. Enough of the questions.
I say something wrong?
You must forgive the Jarl. Hasn't been feeling well of late.
Is he sick? He didn't seem quite right during Crach's feast, but...
Forgive me. I must go to him.
Where's Saris? I've got to find her.
I don't know. Ask around.
Great.
Remember when that storm caught us in Ald's Bay? Aye, like it were yesterday. Ofcon fell overboard and near drowned.
Udalric dove in the waves and saved them.
'Twas the gods directed him. He said that...
Well, that's helpful. Oh, time to kill people. You!
Stop your hollering!
Listen. I can kill you, or I can holler. Take your pick.
I knew if he felled himself to the hair with Hooch, he'd never make his long shift.
What is it?
Lord Saris
You
dropped in for
keep
a visit.
loitering, bothering folk.
Greetings.
Ha! Nary a soul for months. Then one day guests from afar start dropping like rain in springtime. You weary traveller? Hungry?
Looking for Saris, Jarl on Crate's daughter.
Ah, you found her. Or near to. Lass was just here.
Know where she might have gone?
Took an interest in our Jarl. Asked about his childhood. So I told her to see Begthora and Eirik.
Who are Bergthora and Eirik?
Years ago, Eirik was close with the old Jarl. Was the Jarl that helped him win Begthora's hand. They lived toward the east end of the village.
Take care.
Bless you. And my blessings to Saris when you see her. Pendle watches over Clan Tweersech, the blood of kings.
Sorry to interrupt.
You need something? Come, let's have a pint and a chat.
Thanks, but I'm short on time. Looking for a girl named Saris.
Crach on Crate's daughter. She was here, but I've not seen her a while.
Take care.
But yes, hello Hazardous, Corrales, Vigilant, Raspant, Platty, Johnny. What's up, guys? It depends on what type of living here I end up having. As weird as that may sound.
Greetings. I'm looking for someone.
Lucky chap you are then. Truth be told, I'm taken, but village is brimming with lovely girls.
I'm looking for Saris.
The skinny thing. Lovely doe eyes, true, and she's from an honourable house. But the lass is gaunt as a sapling.
I don't know where she is, and her father...
Ugh, tell Crach to calm down. No Skellige lass can perish in her own isles. All right, she was here a few hours. Went to find me man Eirik. Needed to talk, she said. They should be on the beach, t'other side of the isle.
Thanks. Take care.
Good luck searching.
What is she plucking? Or is she shucking? It looks like she's shucking. No, those are chickens. She is actually pulling feathers off chickens. Hello, Anosians, and hello, Zero. 0. Yeah, I did manage to nap. I probably should have waited a little bit longer before starting up again, because I just got up like 2 minutes before I hit go on the recording. Like, I got up, put my coat back on, and sat back down. And I'm still kind of blinking my eyes awake. So obviously my answer would be different if I was a native, but that gets back to the whole nurture versus nature argument, which we've never thoroughly answered. But as for whether I would accept living here or not, like as in amongst these people, see, that's an interesting thing. I guarantee you, as I've said many times, I would get along well with them, but I don't think I would socialize all that much.
Watch out! They're attacking! Fucking mute dabber! Swarming like gulls around the waist heap. Aye, be sure we showed them.
We seem to remember you sitting on that rock crying for help.
Ah, but if not for me warning, you'd be herring bait about now.
Right.
Thanks for your help. Did it once, maybe you can do it again.
Well, we'll have to think about it. Busy the day me fishing got nets to mend. No time to fight monsters.
It's not drowners this time. It's Saris. I'm looking for her.
Aye, fine-looking girl. Can tell right away she's from a good clan. Left her sitting right here when I sailed out to bring in the morning catch.
Any idea why she came here? She say what she was after, or just admire the scenery?
She asked about our Jarl and his family.
She say where she was headed?
Wouldn't tell a stranger, but we did risk our hides together. Went to Odeldrick's old family home. Yonder on the hill.
Thanks. Farewell.
I have to admit, being a court wizard does have its appeal. I get all the benefits of being a mage, and all the benefits of being politically connected. And that way I could finally defeat my longtime nemesis, Hourglass. Thank you, Hourglass. Thank you very much for the sub, as always. Much appreciate. Do you know what you want to put that towards? And yeah, I finally decided to rename it because, being honest, this is as close to a Lorerun as we're ever getting in this game, so... This is the big one. Unless you think me not committed, again, we've already been... this is day 8 of streaming, for God's sakes. I think I'd like to think that I could show my work that I'm committed to this run. Our guards have warned us of spies from Nilfgaard and the northern kingdoms in our midst. There are anyone acting suspicious to the Jarl. I'm warning all in our village's menfolk that if I hear another whistling or shouting comment about my looks, I'll punch him in the gob so hard he won't be able to whistle till next winter. Our longships are due in to return in the coming days. Scouts have brought us word of raid success. Be ready to honor our clan success. No, Raspant, I've decided that for the first time in the history of ever that I'm not going to put a lore run on YouTube. The Circle of Druid asked the brave warriors of Clan Brokvar to suspend fishing for tuna, at least until their spawning season ends. I heal aching teeth. If my healing fails, I'll pull them out, painlessly and for free. Painlessly. Right. To anyone knowing Nils from our village, he's disappeared. It's been many a day, and he's nowhere to be seen. So if you know what's become of him, don't keep it to yourself. Come and see me and let me know, even if the truth is grim and dark. For my sister Brit, who is betrothed, she's gone out of her mind with Worthy, crying seas of tears and such. I swear to Heimdall, whoever brings me news will get an honorable reward. Oh, it's very simple, Huthor. First, you get stabbed. And then a baby happens. It's very simple. Occasionally, a baby will leap fully grown from someone's forehead. See, I guess I've sort of answered Raspin's question, because I'm not sure if I'd really enjoy living here, but I also would kind of like to live here. It's a very strange thing. I think I'm going to stand by the answer I gave Sonic or Kamek, I'm not sure which it was, earlier today, that I would want to live about half the year in Skellige and the other half of the year in Toussaint. Because there's aspects of both cultures that I don't enjoy. And then there are aspects of both cultures that I very much enjoy. And I would get along very well with people from both areas. So, you know, bouncing back and forth between the two would probably help me to maintain enough of variety in order to enjoy living in both places. Yeah, I don't see any exclamation marks. That's just... And of course, just to make it clear, summer in Skellige, winter into song. As for which isle? Honestly, I was thinking like right around here-ish. I don't know the proper terminology, but around Cair Troll, basically. See, I'm not an alcohol person, Raspin. Sorry, yeah. Ard Skellig? Okay. Yeah, honestly, I'd be okay with living in Ard Troll, or maybe, like, just off of it. You know, within walking distance. Maybe having a nice little villa up in the mountainside, somewhere around here. Plenty of cool people to hang out with. I do trust the Uncrakes. Oh god, I'm probably saying that wrong. Uncrates? They're a cool family, cool leadership, cool people. You know, plenty of good cooks, plenty of good people to work with. If I need something sewn or if I need something worked on, I could, you know, deal with that. And I'm reasonably certain, Uncrate, okay, I was correct. And I'm reasonably certain that they won't come after me and try to kill me for all my money. Because obviously I'd have to be ridiculously wealthy to pull this off. And of course, I'd be a mage. And I'd be willing to help out, obviously. Little things, you know. Unless they needed something real. Like, they come up and they're like, hey, you know, there's a case. I'd be like, well, alright, let me look at it. See what we can do. Or they come up and say, oh my god, there's a thing. No, mage. Definitely mage. Mage. Can men be mages? We'll meet one later. He's an interesting fellow. Yes and no, Hourglass. See, I know that sounds like a strange statement, because to me, Ciri fits within the Empire, to call it properly, so neatly that I almost don't have to write anything there. Like, that, she's a perfect agent, is what I call it. It's a recruit. So, it's when you go to a world and you say, hey, do you want to help us, you know, deal with the things for the Empire? And she'd be like, yeah, sure. Like, I guarantee you, as soon as they approach Ciri, she'd be like, yeah, let's do it. You know, it would just be all on board. The hard part is getting the setting to fit within the Empire, which is much more difficult. Especially since I have recently removed everything that I didn't write from the Empire. So... But yeah, I agree, Arla. Ciri would be like, sign me up! You literally go around and just help people? Because because again, it would be the Bastion specifically that reaches out to her. And that is literally what the Bastion does. Is help people. Or to be slightly more accurate, help people help themselves, but still. Oh, this is nice and cursed. Wrong one. There it is. Nah, it's okay. I'll head to Covier it.
Gotta get her out of here.
It'll be fine.
What happened? Where am I? Oh, my head. Pain's just awful.
Got hit with something heavy.
Geralt, why are you here?
Came to look for you. Croc's worried. Taking you home.
I won't go until I help Ulrich.
The sword! Where's the sword? I've got to go back!
You're not going anywhere. I carried you out of there a moment ago, half dead.
I have to!
You have to tell me what's going on. Why'd you go in there?
I wanted to help Ulrich.
Sure, he was acting strangely, but I don't see how your stroll through a haunted house will help him.
It would have, if I'd only found the sword.
So what's this sword all about?
It's Brockvar, the ancestral sword of Udric's clan.
I needed to lift the curse that holds Udalric.
A curse?
Long story. Years ago, Udalric and his little brother butted heads over the sword. As custom has it, the clan's sword should go to the firstborn son, Udalric. But his father gave Brockfar to his little brother, Aki.
Serious insult in these lands.
Serious enough for Udalric to break a sacred law here in Skellige. He openly questioned his father's decision.
Guessing the old Jarl couldn't let it pass.
They chained Udalric to a pile, up to his waist in the sea. Spent 3 days like that. When his punishment ended, he and Aki sailed out to fish.
Got a feeling this trip didn't end happily.
Your feeling's right. There was an accident. A storm broke out and Aki fell overboard. Udalric had his hands full with the sails. Didn't hear his brother until it was too late.
Didn't hear? Or didn't want to hear?
Some folk on the Isle had the same doubt, but none would mention it aloud.
What do you think? Did Udalric kill Aki?
I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but I do think whatever happened at sea that day, well, it's affecting Udalric right now, powerfully so, and it could have something to do with that sword.
What did you plan to do with the sword?
I thought Aki's ghost would want it back.
The brother's ghost?
Long as I remember, folk have said Udalric's the chosen one. The one the gods speak to. I believed it once. But now, considering certain things, I think he's just haunted. And it's his dead brother that's haunting him.
Daring theory. Not breaking any of your laws just by thinking it.
Don't care. I don't believe it's the gods talking. Have you seen him? He's covered in scars.
Thought he earned those in battle.
If you call the strife in his heart and head a battle, I've asked him about it. He said the voices command him to hurt himself for the glory of the gods. I think not. It's not the gods, it's Aki.
So you believe Aki's getting his revenge, because Udalric let him die?
I've talked to Yort. He swears Udalric didn't start hearing voices till after Aki's death. And I don't think Yort's mistaken. He knew both those boys from the cradle. I think we've to give Brockvar to Aki, and he'll leave Udalric alone.
Not a bad idea, on condition it's a ghost we're dealing with. But something doesn't add up.
What's that?
Aki drowned at sea, said so yourself. But the ghost haunts this house.
Aki and Udalric both lived here. Maybe that's why. Thanks for your help, Geralt. But I've got to get the sword.
Out of the question. I'll get it.
Really? Thanks. So I can go see Udalric?
No chance. You're weak. Might pass out again along the way. Wait here, we'll go together.
I like how just blunt he is about this whole thing. No, listen, this is what's happening and this is why. So, to talk about the sorceress thing, I was always under the impression that the gender didn't matter at all for magic. That the sorceress's lodge was a political entity. And that's the only reason they had the female thing going on there. You know, it'd be like the men's club of mages or whatever. Okay, that's a bad example, but you get the idea. Was I impressed with Croc on Crate? Absolutely, he's a cool guy. And I think that's all the outstanding questions, except for Raspin's. So Raspin asks, why does the Bastion help other people? Or rather, help other people help themselves? The core philosophy behind it is basically the idea that the conceit, the ideal, if you will, that people, in general, lean towards good, helping each other, working together, cooperation, etc., but that things get in the way of that. Basically, you know how earlier in this very game, Geralt tried to help an elf, and the elf said, yeah, but you can't help me when they come back, or when their friends come back, or when someone else happens. Basically, someone like Geralt, despite being powerful, knowledgeable, and well-positioned, can't actually help against systemic problems, like systemic corruption, or systemic abuse, etc., etc. That's the kind of thing the Bastion aims to fix. To try and ensure that a society, is improved. Sense make? And it's based on that core conceit, the ideal, which may or may not be true, that people will lean towards such a thing if given the possibility. And encouraged to on a large-scale thing. Now, there is one other aspect of that. once upon a time, the Empire came across a group of people. And those people were basically, in many ways, kind of like we here are on real life right now. In other words, there's no humanity. There's Russians, and there's French, and there's Australians, and there's Canadians, and so forth and so on, right? A whole bunch of nations, all disparate. Well, the Empire... Actually, it wasn't even the Empire at the time, but whatever. The Concordat reached out to these people and said, hey, space, aliens exist. Do you want to join us? And what happened was like a 14-year-long civil war. Or just war, I suppose, amongst those people. The reality of those kind of internecine affairs directly led to the creation of the Bastion in order to try and help with situations like that.
What is this about?
I'm sure it's nothing. See? It's nothing here. Nothing to be worried about. Let's head out of here. It was just some guy making shadow puppets. You know how it is.
So, did you find the sword?
No, actually, Magister. The Empire is in fact not ruled by a single entity, but is more of a cellular organization.
I found it. Let's go.
After you, then. You and my dad, you were mates once, right?
Hope we still are.
But, well, I heard you fell out over something, or someone.
Talking about that story with Yennefer? Long time ago, that. In fact, that was before Croc met the woman who'd be your mother.
But you and Yennefer had already met?
Things were never cut and dried with Yen.
What is it about her? What is it that draws you?
Dunno. Maybe, it's 'cause I've never chosen comfort and ease, the calm and the quiet.
I've battled in worse weather than this.
In general, the Bastion doesn't try to step on anyone, Raspund. In your example, they would try to remove something about, remove the feudal system, but to also replace it with something better. So not only would other people be benefited, but you, the feudal lord, would still have a good life under the new system. Now, if you really were a horrible person, then yeah. But you get the idea.
Where's Yennefer?
Don't know. Why do you ask?
I just wonder why she let you come here alone.
What do you mean, let me?
Nothing. Not a thing. Just got the impression she doesn't like to let you out of her sight.
Teleporting cow.
Look, there they are.
Horridly bright out here. Stings the eyes.
The fresh air will do you good.
The gods won't be pleased.
The gods.
Jarl, our guests, remember.
Exactly, Hourglass. See, the whole point of the Bastion is to, like I said, help a people fix themselves. As opposed to, say, what the Empire as an organization has both the manpower and the technology to do, would be to just walk in and say, okay, hi, yeah. We have guns and ships in orbit. You're all going to do things differently now. And they could just do that. They don't.
What happened to your hand?
I sacrificed it to the gods.
Forgive him, Jarl. Geralt's got more to learn about our customs.
We're close to the gods in Skellige, and the chummier you are, the greater the offering you make. It's our belief that the greatest thing a man can offer is his pain, his suffering, the pure sacrifice.
To hear the gods is a gift, not a sacrifice.
Well, see, that's an interesting question, Huthor. Let me get back to those questions, because Klingons, Skellige, and Dragon Age are all fascinating questions, and I'd love to talk about them, but let me finish the cutscene.
These voices you hear.
The gods. Their voices.
More likely this is somehow related to your dead brother.
I told Geralt of Aki. We concluded that...
That the gods are angry at you, yet he's the reason. That's why you have to apologize to Aki himself.
I didn't want to. Aki fell in the water. The gods will be angry.
We're not even done with those quests, James Hogan. How can we judge them yet?
Let me help you, and I promise to do everything I can to keep from angering the gods.
Heed the Witcher Jarl. Make amends to Aki and you'll surely please the gods.
What would you have me do?
Remember where Aki fell in the water?
Near the Isle's eastern end, by the mouth of the bay. Current had swept us towards Ullula's Needle.
It's a dangerous spot. Treacherous eddies swallow a handful of sailors each year.
We need to sail there. Aki's ghost won't rest until Brokvar's returned to his remains.
No. No. The gods, they'll be angry. I feel it.
Fear not, Jarl. The gods love you, and they loved Aki. Surely they want this.
Well, maybe I can sail there. The sword should be returned. That's what matters. Makes no difference by whose hand. What do I look for? Did Aki have anything that'll help me recognize him? Something he was wearing that could survive all this time underwater?
Aye. Our clan ring.
That ought to be enough. I'm off.
That caught a turn.
So, in the case of Skellige, for example, it is my opinion that one of the biggest problems with Skellige is actually their adherence to ignorance, just to be as completely blunt about that as I can. Which goes back to our major theme of this work in general, ignorance versus knowledge. Now there's other issues here, don't be mistaken, and there's cultural norms that have to be kept in mind. But there's a difference between a culture that venerates honor and a people who regularly sacrifice themselves to gods that probably don't exist, again, because of ignorance. Now, as Huthor rather correctly points out, at least, no, it wasn't Huthor. It was Hourglass. You both start with H. You're all the same to me. No, as Hourglass just correctly pointed out, you don't just walk up to a bunch of people and say, "Hey, the gods don't exist." That's not really going to work. Instead, what you do is you introduce bit by bit a system of education, just trying to ensure that people understand or appreciate the whys things happen. Hello, Hector. Hello, Legendaria.
Can't help wondering what that accomplished, if anything. Time to see Udalric.
I mean, he kind of can, Golvard. Exactly, Hazardous. Very slowly, very carefully, you just kind of introduce them to information and the process of acknowledgement. See, Hourglass says introduce them to science, which is actually fair, but let's be clear. I don't mean that in an anti-religious bent. Too many people think science is anti-religion, or more accurately, anti-spiritualism, which is actually not true. It's more like science is the entire process by which one challenges information. That is actually, the scientific method is very literally the concept of test, retest, prove, disprove, right? Thus, introducing to them to those kind of concepts.
I never knew a man as brave and as God-fearing.
And concepts so that they can actually start, basically thinking for themselves is really the overall point here.
Why'd you do it?
Last night too.
What is this?
Udalric.
The voice has commanded him to poke out his eye.
What? Why do you do it?
Such was the will of the gods. A sacrifice for Aki.
This is a good example, honestly. This is why this is an interesting time to bring up this topic. Emmett Rasmond.
What did the gods want? Exactly. Do you remember? What did they tell you?
They were angry. A voice said, "You vile wretch, you didn't help Aki, and now you failed to sail out to beg his forgiveness. Poke out your eye, suffer, and regret the evil you've wrought."
When did the gods speak to you? Right after I left?
Shortly after. Sleep came over me, so I lay down. 'Twas then they revealed their will to me.
You always asleep when they speak to you?
Always.
What do you see then? Do they try to summon you anywhere specific?
My old home. They command me to light torches, then speak from the shadows.
The gods ever show you their form, or are they always just a shadow?
Once, I steeled myself, gathered my courage, and in my dream made my torch burn bright. I saw a hazy figure sitting in shadow then.
The gods always demand you offer them your suffering?
Only that pleases them, so they ask for more and more.
The gods speak from the shadows, you said. Is that why you don't allow any lights in here?
In my dreams, at times I see their form, when the torches burn bright.
To see the gods is a great honor. Maybe with more light in your house, you'd see them when you're awake as well.
Lesser men are unworthy. They cannot gaze upon their faces.
Yeah.
I returned the sword, but nothing's changed. It's not his brother's ghost that haunts him, tortures him.
What's wrong with him?
Can we talk somewhere in private?
The guest room. Come.
Now, I hate to keep hammering this point in, but this quest really is the example of what I'm talking about. This man believes the gods are speaking to him, but he does so in ignorance. Not stupidity. Not idiocy. Ignorance. The lack of knowledge. Someone with the knowledge and forethought, someone with the capacity to understand, as well as the understanding of what that means, like Geralt, can look at the signs and deduce what's actually happening. And it's worth noting, what is happening is a supernatural thing. It's just, it's not the supernatural thing he thinks is happening.
Well, know what it is?
It's a Hime, a post-conjunction creature, very rare and very dangerous. It latches on to men who commit vile deeds. It feeds on their pain for years, fueling their guilty conscience. In the end, Himes force their victims to mutilate themselves.
Sounds unpleasant. Any way to defeat it?
Two methods that work, in theory. Witcher's bestiaries say you have to spend a night in the Hime's lair with the affected individual.
The haunted house, you mean? It's hardly cozy, but I wager you've slept in worse conditions.
It's not about sleeping. You've got to draw the Hime out. It has to emerge from the shadows, show itself. Can't hurt it otherwise.
And it's sure to give as good as it gets.
You've seen Udalric. It won't be an easy fight.
What's this other way?
They say a Hime can be tricked. You have to pretend to do something horrible. Then it'll move on to you as its new victim. When it realizes it's been tricked, it'll be forced to leave.
Great. Let's try it.
Don't know anyone who's pulled it off.
Maybe no one's thought up a trick that was good enough. I know you're doubtful, but we should at least try to find a way to trick the Hime.
Might not be as simple as it seems. Besides, neither method's perfect.
What do you mean?
Why, Hazardous? Honestly, Raspant, for creatures like these, I usually think things of this specific nature are usually crafted. As in, something that's been enchanted, or cursed, or experimented on, or whatever, right? Not all of the monsters, obviously, but something like a Hime? Yeah, that feels like something that someone built.
The Hime's a demon, and demons are notoriously hard to fool. Plus, the trickster can't know it's a trick.
What?
The Hime attacks those who have a guilty conscience, truly believe they committed a foul deed. The Hime strengthens their regret and feeds on it. Meaning, if the new host doesn't feel true sorrow, the Hime will sense that.
Yes. So, for this to work, if either of us has an idea, we can't tell the other one about it.
Exactly.
And what about the other method?
Udalric might not survive an entire night in the Hime's lair.
You think the Hime... would it try to kill Udalric?
No, that would mean losing its host. But Udalric could just expire. He's weak, and the house will summon painful memories. Whereas to the Hime, that'll be an opportunity. The more pain the Hime causes Udalric, the stronger it'll grow.
And the more dangerous it will be to you. Both methods seem risky, but I still think we should try the trick.
Don't know that I'm convinced.
Just please don't tell me you have to consult Yennefer on such things as well. If we fail to think of anything, we can always try the Witcher's way.
So, last time we did this, I'm 90% certain we did the trick. But I don't remember that going badly. What happened that was bad as a consequence of that? That's why I'm confused. I was like, that turned out pretty good last I checked. For the record, I do still stand by my explanation of the vampire world. I mean, it makes the most sense to me. And we'll talk about it more when we get there, because I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts, too. I mean, what's the life of 3 guards, honestly? Are they even people, really? They're like stormtroopers, you know? You just pop them. Like Pringles. I don't even like Pringles. Real story. I really don't like Pringles. They make me feel sick. I'm not even joking. Pringles will literally make me feel nauseous. I don't know what it is. Too much oil, maybe? I don't know. Maybe guard is a common name. Ah! Let's...
What is it with you and Yennefer? Mentioned her several times already.
Nothing. I've just noticed that you're often of one mind.
Saying I'm henpecked.
Not that you're especially different. Seems to happen to all men. Take a rowdy Skelliger, a brave knight, or a tough witcher. You all end up wrapped around some woman's finger.
That's true. You can ask Bragwin.
What can I say?
So, shall we try trekking it first?
Yeah, let's.
Good decision.
Haunted house. The Hime's lair. Only place where anything like this could work.
After you, then.
No reason to delay.
Griffin Pecked does have a bit of a weird ring to it, doesn't it?
Let's look around.
See, if that was true, Tigzer, I'd never buy Burger King again. I hate Burger King commercials.
Solid craftsmanship. Fitter must have been from the continent.
An old bread hearth. Should still work. So long as carrion crows haven't made their nest in the chimney.
Don't mistake me, Burger King is usually, at least around here, is usually one of the better fast food places as far as quality. But those commercials...
Siri. No, it's impossible. Damn it. Looking to discourage me? Good. Means you're scared.
Now that's interesting, Hazardous. That's a true black licorice situation, then. Subway, for me, is usually one of the top-tier fast food places. Depends on the Subway, it's worth noting.
Shattered. Udalric must have been scared of seeing the creature just behind him.
Like, you ever been to a Walmart Subway? Those are awful. A&W is available, but kind of rare, unfortunately.
An old cradle. Must have belonged to Udalric or Aki.
Geralt!
Oh, I agree, Scottish Warrior. That's the funny thing. I almost had a Lorium designed for that. Because I had a theory for many years that the actual restaurant, chain, I should say, doesn't matter at all. It's the specific establishment that matters. And I have been proven right on that many, many times.
Come up with anything?
Yes, I have a plan. One that just might work.
Can I get any details?
You've got to wait for me here. I won't be long.
Anything else?
Said yourself, you can't know the details. So no, nothing else. You simply gotta trust me.
Hope you know what you're doing.
So do I. So, can we start?
I'm ready.
All right, I'll be back soon.
A little bit, Hourglass.
Fire going in the oven.
The fact that she demonstrates several times what I would call a progressive mindset influenced my decision as well.
She's running to the old house. Grab her.
Take him. You must put him in the oven. Trust me.
Take care not to hurt the child. Give me the babe.
In the oven. Throw him in the oven.
See? We're punching. We're not killing. Punch. I said punching. No, the baby was for real. We just put a real baby in the oven. There's the Hime. I agree, Kira. This probably shouldn't have worked, if we're being 100% honest.
Aki!
Notice what he named his child.
The Witcher committed no crime. You'll find neither despair nor guilt here. Only shock and relief. You've been tricked. You must go.
It's over.
Over?
We tricked the Hime. It thought I'd killed your child, abandoned you to haunt me, feed on my conscience.
But when it saw the babe was whole, unharmed, it had to go. You're free, Jarl.
Free?
The Hime's gone, so are the voices that tortured you. Let's get out of here.
I told you, I punched him.
My head's spinning. I'm spinning in a maelstrom.
Geralt, you said it was over.
That's just fatigue. In time, his mind will return to normal.
What? What will I do now?
You're disoriented, but don't worry, it'll pass.
I feel as if someone's torn something from me.
That's normal. The Hime was a parasite. Bonds between parasites and hosts can be strong. That's why you feel empty now.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a few days, weeks, you'll be fine.
Thank you. I think. Farewell.
I'll go with him. He seems confused.
Good idea. Then what? What are your plans?
I'll stay a few days, make sure he's healthy. And you? Gonna stay on Speaker Rog?
Don't know yet. Gotta gather my thoughts.
I'm sure Yennefer must be growing impatient.
Thought we already discussed that.
We did. Farewell, Witcher. Favorable winds and following seas to you.
To you too. So long.
Just to comment on it, by the way, in my experience, a really good relationship doesn't involve one person or the other being wrapped around the other's finger. It's an actual partnership between two people. Just had to comment on that really quick. So, I don't know, you guys. I think that the whole quest arc kind of deserves a negative. What do you think? Maybe 2 negatives. What do you guys think? 1 or 2 negatives? Or maybe 3. I mean, it did involve a baby being shoved into an oven. That's just unacceptable, right? I mean, there's no way. 26 negatives. Yeah. I think I agree with that. 26 negatives. Let's do it. I actually don't either, Huthor. 27 negatives. Oh, we're getting there now. 10,000 negatives. So yeah, no, story positive. Yep, we have officially hit 30. I don't even feel bad about that. I really don't. Of course, Hultwig, no. Yes, we've officially hit a bad Vin Diesel film, ladies and gentlemen. L would be the next one in Oceans. We've already kind of thought about this. One of the things that I do actually want to mention, though... Someone stab Hourglass. One of the things I want to mention is I like how both of these quests show a great deal into the inside of both people. Because one of the things I like about this is both Saris and Hrolgar, which I'm probably saying wrong. XL? Why would 60 be the next one, Hazardous? Wait, that's not 60. That would be 40, wouldn't it? Never mind. Hjalmar? Anyways, but Saris and Hjalmar, despite everything, neither is actually showcased to be better than the other in the strictest sense. Hjalmar is, as is described, a great leader, someone who is very taken to action, and someone who is not going to sit down or sit on his laurels. He's not lazy, he's not corrupt. He is a little stupid, but not in the strictest sense. Like, he's not actually unintelligent, it's more like he just doesn't think all that much before taking action. Further, his approach was to find the biggest, most terrifying thing he could and try to take it down. He went after a freaking giant, something that was supposed to be extinct, and decided to try and defeat that giant. And, it's worth noting, lost almost all of his crew in the process. Saris heads out basically alone, and she tries to solve a puzzle. She is still trying to defeat a beast, but she didn't know that. She instead was trying to lift a curse, which is more of a working through rather than working against kind of a mentality. And if we're being honest, if Geralt hadn't shown up, she wouldn't have succeeded either. Neither of them would have succeeded. Her plan was actually a decent idea, but it was an incorrect idea because she lacked the necessary knowledge to understand the opponent she was facing. So in short, and I do like this very much, like I said, neither of them were really correct. Both of them were simply to try and deal with the situation, and neither of them really knew what they were doing. And both would have failed without Geralt. And Kira points out a good point too. Hjalmar isn't selfishly motivated, which is actually something very awesome. There's 2 points of that. Obviously, the first is to get the Undvik refugees their home back, but the second is he willingly and without hesitation offers us the glory of the kill. Now this is Skellige, and we just killed a giant. Being willing to give the glory of that to someone else speaks volumes for his character. I bet you plenty of Skelligers... could someone link James Hogan really quick, please? I bet you plenty of Skelligers would have no problems and no hesitation trying to claim the glory of that kill for themselves. Trying to sing the songs of, yes, I took down the thing, and also there was Geralt there. You know, right? So... I'm just trying to say that the quests do a very good job of showcasing both of them, and I like that a lot. Now, I still lean towards Saris, because, again, to me, she is someone who is more inclined towards what I would feel is a better fit for leadership role. Someone who is going to be trying to actually change the system of existence that they are within, trying to alter things to make it go into a better condition, you know, blah, 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 blah. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention Blue Boy Lugos, who just went into the cave to face his innermost fears, which didn't really benefit anyone. I mean... yeah. Now, what's funny, and I don't remember how this actually turns out in terms of specifics, but I think that Saris and Hjalmar would actually make a pretty good team. Yeah, I know I say that a lot, but I mean that sincerely. Basically, she would be more the domestic ruler, and he would be more the foreign ruler, the military ruler. I'm not sure how far through Skellige we are at this point, Mighty Mage, but we're making progress.
Swords on his back. What'll they think of next?
I also agree, this is something that can be debated, and something that in fact can very seriously be debated based on how this game ends. But I am of the opinion that Skellige is basically being outpaced by the rest of the world, and that it needs to do something about it.
Their blades and salt. Or cast leaden balls and through them.
What good would leaden balls be? There's a raid, not some devil.
So what do we do? Go to the Druids?
Put simply, I think that a triumphant Radovidian empire, or a triumphant Dijkstra northern force, or a triumphant Nilfgaard empire would eventually, probably not within this generation, but within the next generation or the next, just swallow Skellige. Or just push it away. And yeah, you'll notice that the Nilfgaardian ambassador quite literally mentioned that they are a footnote in history, and always have been.
Druids aren't any good with wraiths.
Oh, suppose you're better.
Shut your gob. He's better than any. That's a witcher there. Listen, it's our arena. We got a wraith that haunts it. Damned if we know how to drive it off. Do you think you could manage?
This wraith, I can probably manage it. Need the details.
What do you want to know?
Know anything about this specter? When did it first appear?
My granddad told me his granddad said the wraith was called Ulla the Unlucky. Lost every bout he entered, yet always recovered from his wounds. Ulla weren't even able to die like a man.
Till one day, Jarl Thormar called a tournament in the arena. In those days, they drew lots to choose their foes, and the Jarl drew Ulla the Unlucky. Jarl was cocksure he'd win, so he mocked Ulla, ridiculed him till all in the stands were crying with laughter. Finally, he raised his arms in triumph, and that's when Ulla, who couldn't take it no more, stuck a dagger in his back.
As he died, Thorma cursed Ulla. May ye lose again and again for centuries on end. That's what he said. Ever since, Ulla's haunted the arena, looking for a fight, and getting a few.
Mean there have been those who've tried to defeat him?
You kidding? Everyone's beating him. Poor bugger keeps coming back, though. Can't organize no normal fights precisely 'cause of that.
What kind of an arena is this?
It's an arena, like any other.
The custom was for the best warriors to clash here. Speakerog bouts were famous all across Skellige.
Then one day a wraith showed up.
How did you know?
Told you, he's a witcher, a cunning man. He knows these things.
All right, could try my hand at driving away this specter. Not for free, though.
Get it done, and we'll pay you the champion's purse.
And the premium from our earnings to come. Once the fighting begins, after the curse is lifted.
Oh, sure you're not getting carried away there?
A little lie, but fuck it. Witcher gets rid of the wraith, he'll deserve a premium from the earnings, he will.
So be it. One time only, though.
Sounds reasonable. Wait for me here. Shouldn't be too long.
Honestly, I agree with what several people in chat have already said, too. I know this sounds so stereotypical coming from me, but honestly, this kind of culture relies heavily on raiding culture. Basically, it needs to raid to supplement its own economy. And I know what you're thinking. Well, why do they care about their money? It's not just money. It's money, it's workforce, it's food, it's raw goods, it's processed goods. You know, there's a fair amount of their existence that relies on the bounty and plunder that they bring in. I don't know how much exactly, because I don't know the setting that well. But I would wager if it's at least 10%, then that's a substantial chunk. It's probably if I was just to guesstimate, I'd say it's probably closer to 40 to 50% of their income. They remind me very, very much of, as someone in chat mentioned, the Hunnic problem. For those of you not aware, the Hunnic problem was, well, they had to keep spreading, and they had to keep taking, because they couldn't really produce much. They could produce a few things. You know, they could work fields, and they could, tend to animals, and they could produce cloth, but that was basically it. And once the society as a whole was completely accustomed to the level of luxury that they had, that was brought to them by the raiding, the people more or less literally demanded to maintain that same level of existence. And that's not a hard thing to understand. I want you to imagine for just a moment that your current level of existence with regards to food, comfort, temperature, clothing, all of the basic standards of living that you have were just dropped down several tiers. Just imagine if you just dropped down several tiers in your lifestyle. And imagine if that happened to a huge swath of people simultaneously, like an entire country, effectively. Think about it. So they had to keep raiding, and they had to keep claiming, and eventually that bubble just burst. I mean, there were actually a lot of composite value variables that led to that, but there was a burst bubble that happened there. Oh yeah, by the way, speaking of someone who has had my own life drop down several tiers within my real life, I can tell you that it kind of sucks.
Man defeats Ula the Unlucky. You will too. Come to face the ghost of the arena. Don't be shy. I'll defeat Ula the Unlucky. Just spare me your jabber, your cries of die, wraith, and I shall defeat you, spectre of the arena. I've heard them all 1,000 times. Dreadful sick of them.
You're no typical wraith.
Why not? Because I don't shriek threats and warn you of your death? Well, that's simple enough. Plain bored of that. Besides, I know how it'll be. You'll spit out some insults, pierce me with your sword, and I'll then disappear, only to be back here again in a few days. And it'll be so with those who come after you. Such is my fate. I'm to tarry here till the world's end, losing every fate along the way. But you've not come to chat. Draw it, swing it, get to work, and defeat the ghost of the arena.
Not gonna be any fight.
Have it your way. If not you, then the one to come after. 'Tis all the same to me. Oh, another. Here to defeat
Now,
the ghost of the arena. Be my guest.
one thing that I also want to add with regards to the Skellige problem, this is just my opinion, and again, don't know the setting that well, but it feels to me like they are in prime position to become a naval power. Not a military naval power, but a trade power. I feel like they are in perfect circumstance in both terms of their skill, in terms of their geographical position, and in terms of how much... basically how much there is to gain along that western coast. Yeah, they could basically become the UK, and not the Empire UK, but just the trade UK, right? Oh yeah, the reputation. Thank you. I know there's something else forgetting there. I feel like that could lead to some very serious changes for the people. Now, of course, some people will be like, "Ah, we got a raid." Well, it's easy to deal with. You just kill those people. I'm just kidding. Maybe. Well, see, it's very simple, Golvag. Stab! Okay, now that I don't have to answer Golvag's question. With their cultural... See, honestly, their culture is the biggest problem here. I know that sounds horrible to say that, but I mean that sincerely. Their culture is the biggest obstacle to them stopping being a raiding power and starting being an economic power. How many times... We keep reading all of these notice boards, right? I'm pretty sure we've seen at least 3 notice boards messages, which basically say, if you have any continental stuff, screw you, right? Like any woman who's wearing continental satin, you can just rip it off them. You remember that? And there's one about, no trading should ever be done with continentals, and blah, 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 blah. Now, granted, that varies from clan to clan. We've already seen how some of the clans are far more positively inclined towards continentals, and some are far more negatively inclined. So that's going to be kind of a variable thing. So, there are certain... Honestly, there are certain clans and certain tribes that I don't think there's any positive reconciliation possible there. Not unless they just fall massively behind in terms of development and personnel. Like if If the Ancrates decide to take the lead and become a financial power by themselves, the others might continue to raid, but they would invariably fall behind. And they might, depending on how that goes, either be eventually stamped out by people who are pissed off at them continuing to exist, or simply fall behind into irrelevance. Now, there's a much more negative possibility that might happen there. I want you to imagine this for a second. I want you to imagine the Ancrates decide to go economic superpower. Let's say they start succeeding. And let's say the Foros, something like that, they decide to keep raiding. Let's say the Foros raid the Nilfgaardians. Let's say the Nilfgaardians won the war, because they're going to. Let's say the Nilfgaardians don't like being raided. So we have two possibilities here. Either the Nilfgaardians come back and say, "Hi, we're here to kill you all," because they don't differentiate between one clan or another. Or, slightly less horrible, they come back to her and say, "Put your house in order," and effectively try to pull the Ancrates and Skellige in general in as a vassal state. Now, I can give an example of that, actually, a fictional example. How many of you have seen Star Wars Rebels? Because in Star Wars Rebels, there's a clan of Mandalorians, I don't remember their name, please forgive me, who decided to willingly become a vassal state of the Empire. And in so doing, well, you could probably guess how that happened. They were able to take a decent amount of power thanks to the backing of the Empire, and became the dominant clan, but all the other clans chafed under it constantly. So basically, what I'm trying to say here, and I can't believe I'm saying this, is that I feel like Skellige is screwed no matter what, because I can't picture a situation in which enough of the Skellige people decide to more peacefully step forward into a different type of future. At best, the best possible outcome I can imagine being realistically feasible is the Nilfgaardians actually decide to throw military weight behind the Ancrates and whoever joins them to basically crush the other clans. Yeah, a civil war, exactly. Now, it's possible Nilfgaard wouldn't actually be involved in that civil war, but one way or the other, a civil war in which Ancrate wins. I think that's the best possible outcome here. Yeah. Okay, so, right. How am I going to do this? Turn that off. Yeah, exactly, Corrales.
Come to face the ghost.
Draw your weapon.
Draw in. But make it quick. And not too much drama, if you don't mind.
And you think they'd actually honor that, Tigzar? I don't see that as even remotely likely.
I defeated you.
Seems so. Congratulations.
But how? I was to lose till the end of time. What's that? I hear laughter and joyous cries. The clanking of chalices and a voice summoning me to the feast of heroes. You let me win. You freed me. Thank you. The gods be with you.
I've always liked that transition shot. They use that a few times in this game, and I like it each time they do it. The pan behind the back, and then the change of events while the panning is happening. Hello, Glorious Barbarian. Oh, I don't know, Magister. As I've said before, we don't really know what the afterlife, if there is an afterlife, is in this setting. But yeah, no, I'm just going to say this really bluntly. It's never... Danegelds have never really worked out particularly well. The only possible exceptions there is when a Danegeld led to acclamation.
Greetings.
Ghost shouldn't pester you anymore. Drinking meat with his ancestors by now.
Ah, knew you'd manage it. Well, Gunnar, the winning.
Here.
You bet on it?
Should have seen it. I said you'd pull it off. Gunnar said there weren't a chance. That's why he's got that sheep's arse frown now.
See that frown often, when it's time for me to get paid.
You needn't fret. We're honorable folk here. This is for you.
And remember, you get a cut of the earnings once we get the arena up and running again.
I'll remember that. So long.
You can also hit refresh, Glorious Barbarian. That should usually fix it. But yeah, at best, Tigzar, what would happen is they'd pay the first Danegeld, and then it would be violated by one group or another, and that would lead to the escalation situation I mentioned earlier. Sadly, Danegelds really just don't work out historically. Because a Danegeld is basically just either a form of blackmail or hostage-taking, depending on how you think of it. And that's just not a long-term feasible strategy. Worse, they would have to basically pay a Danegeld to every single clan, and even that wouldn't necessarily guarantee it. Let's see, is this where I want to be? Nope, one more. I should have raised the swimming speed even higher. I do not, Hazardous, no. I do have another quest, though. There's boats you can take, Magister. They're much slower than this. Yeah, right now I'm going to discover India. I mean, the Americas. I'm sorry, that's an awful joke.
Bastard! Asshole! Cockeyed prick! You're dead!
I didn't want to hurt her. Help! Save me!
Well, that's that quest done. Moving on. I killed him, but he was scripted to not die yet, so... Yeah, not a lot I can do about that. Hi, Mr. Funbags. Welcome home. I agree, by the way, Kira. I have absolutely no doubt that Amir could work a casus belli against the Skelliges. And it's not like he needs much justification given the rating and the Nilfgaardian distaste for Skellige in general. Especially amongst the nobility. That's an easy sell right there. And you know the best part? Usually the ones who tend to... How do I phrase this? The hardest group to convince to go to war is usually the wealthy, because the wealthy have the most to lose from a war. But if you say to all of the wealthy nobles and merchants and richmen and say, hey, I want to go to war against the people who have been regularly raiding you, I mean, think about it. Oh, ha-ha, Taitu. I guess that's actually all we were here for. Well, let's head up here.
You don't quiver in your breeches as if Ragnarok were upon us. Tape on a tower.
Look,
Maybe we
Witcher.
needed a small...
Hi! Hi, Witcher!
Hey, tower out of nowhere.
What is it?
I got a job for you. There's no point standing here in the rain. All right, let's go to mine. We'll talk there.
So what's the matter?
You see that knoll beyond the village? Weren't a thing there for centuries. Till one day we awoke, and bam! there were a tower atop it. Then all of a sudden lightning started pounding down, as if the Noggle Fair itself was sailing in. Hasn't stopped to this day. Something's got to be done. About the storm. With waves like that, we can't fish, nor sail out to raid.
You tried getting inside the tower?
Have we tried? Very same morning the tower appeared. We went right off. Whole village or nearabouts. Folk wanted to welcome its owner if he came in peace. Drive him off if he came with ill intent. We knocked and banged, but no one answered. So we opened the door, and that's when our knees turned to jelly.
Why?
Because beyond of that door was something like a sheet of water, but standing upright. Never seen such a thing in my life. Druid said it were magic. Gathered 5 brave lads, and they all marched in. No sign of him since.
Fine. I'll look into the tower.
Once you're in, cast your eye around for the folk from our village. Our druid and 5 good lads. It'd be a bitter shame to lose them.
You have my word.
Hemdall, guide you.
I think we agree on that, Tigzar, but I never said Nilfgaard would occupy. In fact, it would probably be quite stupid for them to attempt to occupy. And yeah, as we've already established, the books and the games... / / / you know what I mean? The long and the short of it is, Skellige's screwed. Is that a giant? No, it's a Cyclops. What? He was in my way. Portal. I hate portals.
A portal? Shit.
Geralt.
Great. Portal closed. Looked smaller from the outside.
Intruder detected. Cease your intrusion. Leave at once. Failure to leave when summoned. Intruder neutralization.
Whoa, he's got some health. Yikes. He lived through a fire blast. Which is doing thousands of damage, by the way.
Probably greeted them, too.
Finally, someone's come to free me. And a famous witcher at that. Thank the gods. I'm damned lucky you happen to be in Kovir. Was it King Tancred who sent you, or the Society of Magic?
Neither, and we're not in Kovir. We're in Skellige. Local folk hired me. See, your towers brought a massive storm to their island.
We're in Skellige? So we've teleported? Oh, this is much worse than I thought.
Not sure I follow.
Oh, the tower is outfitted with a defensive regulatory magic on.
What?
A defensive system magic, ensuring only the tower's owner will use it. When it detects an intruder, it locks down all the rooms, denies access.
And since neither of us is the tower's owner, the golem attacked me and you're stuck behind bars. How do we evade its other charming features?
We must deactivate the defensive regulatory magicon. The tower's prior owner wrote a treatise about removing such defenses. Gottfried's Omni-Opening Grimoire. There must be a copy in the tower. Find it, please. With it in hand, I can try to circumvent the security measures, send you home and take the tower back to Kovir.
You clearly know who I am. I don't even know your name.
Seago Bunce, mage and sorcerer in residence at the court of Pontvanis. This tower was to be my new home. Bought it at an auction, you see.
A tower at an auction?
It belonged to Gottfried Stamfeld, a mage of some renown. When he passed on, his heirs auctioned the edifice off. They were all wary, repulsed. None dared see what Uncle Godfrey kept in his coloured jars. If it was their contents that had stripped him of his sense of smell and taken his left eye, they put the tower on the block, along with all it contained. The price was unbeatable. I couldn't resist.
Seen my share of wonders, but a tower that teleports itself? That's something new.
This defensive regulatory magicon. I tried to access it. Must have heard. Initiated some evacuation sequence. That opened the portal and jettisoned us through to Skellige. This, in turn, naturally generated electromagnetic disturbances. Hence the storm.
Storm I promised to dispel.
Then you must find Gottfried's omni-opening grimoire.
Yeah, by the way, in case you guys didn't catch it, it's a DRM. I've actually heard about this quest. Never done it, obviously.
The corpses over there. Folk from the village nearby, right?
They came in a few days past. I was surprised to see their garb. But it just never entered me mind we might be in Skellige. There were just a few, led by a druid. The tower warned them. They failed to heed.
Folk on Skellig usually laugh in the face of warnings. If the tower had asked nicely, then offered them a horn of mead, they might have left then.
Oh yeah, by the way, in case you didn't catch the other half of it, we need to get the GOG to bypass the DRM.
Right. Time to get out of here and send this tower home. Where do I look for Gottfried's treaties? Any ideas?
The library might be a logical place to start. The key should be in the laboratory.
Where's that?
As you enter the room opposite, you'll see the laboratory to your left. The library straight ahead. But remember, you're an intruder. The tower is certain to want to stop you. Make things difficult at the least.
We'll see who breaks first.
Now, I do have to say, this is the kind of reference or Easter egg that I'm in favor of. Because it's not like someone... Basically, too often an Easter egg is really obvious. And that can work. But every now and again, I prefer an Easter egg that, honestly, makes perfect sense in lore and in character. And if you're not actually thinking about it, you don't actually process. Like, in Dragon Age, when you see Superman drop before Pa Kent and Ma Kent, that's really obvious, right? And now I'm trying to think of another example.
Cages open. Beasts released.
Must be the key.
I can't think of any other examples off the top of my head. I'm sorry, guys. Point being, I think this one works pretty well.
Liquidation terminated. Insufficient resources to continue.
Yeah, it sent out a cow to defeat us. Don't worry, I'm not going to kill it. Who's a good cow? Who's a good cow? Scooch, 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 scooch.
Intruder in library. Collection integrity compromised.
God, was Dritz seriously in Witcher 2? I don't remember that. That's a bit too on the nose.
Intersections and geomantic lines. Not what I'm looking for. Looks like he's suffocated. Horrible way to die. Applied golemancy. Gotta keep looking.
And yes, Magister. GOG has, and CD Projekt Red in general, have been notoriously anti-DRM for most of their existence. It's one of the reasons I've supported them despite what may or may not have been happening behind closed doors. Because if nothing else, their consumer policies are ones that I support. Yeah, Gottfried's Omni-Opening Grimoire.
Omni-Opening Grimoire.
The Defensive Regulatory Magicon, or DRM for short, belongs to the above-mentioned group of longest-lasting, most effective, and hardest-to-break mechanisms in order to recognize the effectiveness of the individual administering it, make use of the portal mounted at the entrance of the area it is to defend. This portal passes streams of magical energy through the body of the person entering and can, in the blink of an eye, determine if this person has the corporeal signature, eyeball structure included, of the entitled administrator. As a result, only unauthorized individuals can the only unauthorized individuals that can possibly hope to enter are mimics. DRM thus makes for an extremely effective and near unbreakable security measure, but you are in luck, for you hold in your hands the key to bypassing it. Merely present this tome, Gottfried's Omni-Opening Grimoire, or GOG for short, and the pages to follow you'll find innumerable methods for deactivating DRM, or even better, bypassing it altogether.
This is it.
Commencing annihilation.
That is a good one, Tesvir. I like that one. Yeah. So this is a good time to mention a fact, and I stress the way I say that word. Because there's a lot of juxtaposition and presumption when it comes to whether or not game piracy exists or DRM prevents game piracy or whatever. But it is a demonstrable fact that one of the main reasons people will pirate games and movies is to remove DRM.
Find the tome.
This it?
It is indeed. Now, back away a bit. I must deactivate the barrier.
Isolation chamber open. Disturbing indications of freedom.
Disturbing.
At last.
Looked easy.
The hardest part is yet to come. We must reach the heart of the tower and cast a deactivating spell. The tower will surely do everything in its power to stop us.
Lead the way.
Yeah, that's another interesting point. To date, there's never been a DRM that has not been cracked. The closest is probably large-scale MMOs, but if you think that has worked 100%, then you have not heard of private servers. So even the most effective known form of DRMing, which is basically the always-online MMO concept, is still something that has been cracked.
Acute threat to control systems. Immediate action required.
Woo! Those things have health. Good God. Again, I am literally doing thousands of damage to these things. I'd never looked Taitu, so I can't speak to that one. So I don't know.
Gottfried's treatise proved highly useful. It's over. Had you not arrived, I'd still be in that cage, surely. It's a trifle, but take it, please. Proof of my gratitude.
Thanks. Though I'd be more than satisfied if you calmed that storm, then took this tower somewhere else.
Consider it done. And should you ever visit Kuvir, do stop by Pompvanis. Aboragi, Barathan.
Wait, what are you doing?
Teleportation magic. Your favorite kind.
Not this way, the door.
I'm sorry. Oh, that was good.
Think he's still alive?
alive?
He's alive, all right.
Love's been
And
off meat for 2 days.
Exactly, and powerless.
You're alive, and in one piece.
One soaking wet piece.
Will you teach me to fly?
Another time, maybe.
Never seen such marvels in me life. Boom, flash, tower disappeared, and you was falling from the sky. And the storm, gone in an instant.
Now, didn't I tell you? It's what a witcher we needed. Aye, can't do better than an expert, and expert work deserves a fitting reward.
Nah.
Thanks, but you need that coin a lot more than I do.
Not enough that he's handy. He's noble too.
Ringa!
What?
Found a mage in the tower. He was just as eager to take it away from here. Rewarded me generously for my help.
If that's so, we've naught left but to say our thanks. Aye, well, if you ever come through here again, stop in. You'll be welcomed with open arms.
Thanks. Farewell.
Wait, Witcher. Did you happen to see me brother in there? Horn's his name. He went in with the druid and a few other lads.
I found your friends. All dead, unfortunately. Sorry.
Told him not to go, but he wanted glory.
Let's go home, Jarl. No point standing here. Farewell, Witcher. Thanks again for helping.
I mean, that is a valid question. Do you know what a lore run is in Powerless? Because if you do, explaining what a Not-Quite-Lorerun is much easier. Camera work has been excellent throughout. I really cannot overemphasize that. Okay, so we've done that, we've done that, we've done that. We did those, we did that. We're not doing those yet, because we're not there yet. We did all of that. We're actually almost done with side quests here. We've got a couple of stuff in the northern end of the island, right around in this area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, according to my map. Plus the ones we know exist there. And that's actually it. Ugh. I don't believe so, Magister. I could be wrong, though.
Who are there, Witcher? You looking for work by any chance? Listen, Witcher. Got us some weird diabling. You know, drowners. Real problem. The kind your silver sword could most certainly solve.
Let me guess. They're tearing your nets, devouring your fish, and attacking the occasional lone boatman or tavern patron who walks home along the shore.
Were that the only harm? Terrors in the bay are meaner than on the continent. They hunt come dusk or dawn. Attack fishermen wielding just oars and warriors alike. Sea tosses them up after. Armor shredded, guts devoured.
Strange. Any witnesses?
Rurik, my apprentice. He was on a boat the Muir Diablin attacked. There's Tove, too. Her man was killed. She lives nearby, up a bit. Sorry, none of that comes to mind. Those who see the beasts, meet him, well, they generally don't come back to dry land alive.
I'll take the job. Dealt with drowners many times. It'll soon be over. Got my word on that.
Work by any chance? Seen the
Rurik, right? Heard you were on a boat the drowners attacked.
Aye, I was. With Ulf, my cousin, gathering our crab traps off the Kjerrig cliffs. Ulf was pulling up a line, having a hard time of it. You know, grand, I thought. Cage has got to be full, it'll be a good haul. Then something tugged back and down. Weren't a blink and Ulf was underwater. Called after him, once, twice, thrice. Then the water went red with blood. I smelled something horrid. Rotten, but worse. And the Muir Diablin flipped the boat. Don't even know how I made it ashore. Must have had Freyr watching over me.
That, or the monsters had eaten their fill. Thanks for the story.
Have you ever played Neverwinter Nights 1, Suncrist? Because that really will answer your question for you.
Are you Tove? I was told drowners killed your husband.
Then you were told right. First the sea took my son, and now my man. I'm the only one left. Chavilla, our son, he went out fishing and didn't come back. My man would walk out to the Kierag cliffs every day to watch for his boat. I told him he cannot bring him back to life, and that he could die himself. We'd heard about drowners, but he couldn't sit still. Donned his old coat and went. One night, he didn't come home. I fetched me brother, grabbed a torch, and we went looking for him. The Muira Diablin, sea fiends. They'd clawed him so bad, I only knew him by his coat.
Small comfort, I know. But the drowner problem will soon end. I promise you that. Farewell.
No, I count both games in that categorization. You're right, Magister. Now, Gigi's, I really hope you're jesting. Because otherwise we might have to stab you. All the stabbings for Gigi's.
Another victim. That stench. Drowners for sure. Lair must be nearby.
Yes, we're definitely doing a 100% run, and also with no cheating. I also am the Queen of France, and England. And Elvis. Okay, what in the world? Oh, I see it. Actually, I am Tupac as well. Hello, Da Vinci. No, secretly my name has always been Bob. No, I'm not the Emperor of Mexico, but I am of Nicaragua.
Oh, welcome. Pay close attention. Hopefully you'll learn something.
There we go. Oh yeah, pretty soon I'm going to take over Mexico. And then all the chili peppers will be... Sorry, that's horrible. I was going to go with tamales because I love tamales, but you know. Soon all the tamales will be mine. I mean, I do love Mexican food. I even love American Mexican food. Thank you very much, Recursive. Much appreciate the support as always. Thank you so much. However, I can't help but notice you didn't say what you want to put that donation towards. Well, you know what that means, guys. Pity. I liked recursive, too.
That stench again. Slime and rotting flesh. A pelvis. Scratched up. Long, wide claw marks.
Yep, we're gonna have to remove his eye with a well, we can use a spoon or a spork. I'm ambivalent, really. What do you guys think?
More drowners.
Things are starting to live through more than one hit. My goodness. And I don't have scaled leveling on, so it's just things that are high enough to do that.
A monster's lair, but definitely not a drowner's.
A ladle. That might work.
Almost untouched. Hidden for later. Drowners just don't do that.
I actually don't like churros that much, Platty.
Bruises on his neck. Crushed larynx. Strangled.
Thank you for the effort, though.
Bits of boats. Torn sails. Lines. Sailing decor, you could call it. That stench, the marks on the bodies. This must be a water hag's lair. Got a keen sense of smell. She won't come back while I'm here. Unless she coexists with drowners. Maybe I could make an extract from their glands cover up my scent.
No, listen, Platty. It's like the Doctor. Each time I show up in a new body, I change what my taste preferences are. New body, right? It makes sense. Oh, there we go.
That should do it. Now for a place to hide and wait. Behind those boats.
Depends, Taito. Gotta get Mercy out. Worth it. Oh shoot, now I'm turned around. Yeah, we're fine, we're fine.
Will you help a man in need?
Nope. Death to those in need. Wait.
What do you want?
Job's done. Here's the proof.
Now, why would I want to see... What the devil's that?
Water hag. An old, clever one. She was the danger.
Seen a lot of ugly critters in me life. Morays, lampreys, blobfish. But never nothing like this. Your reward. Well earned, Witcher. Well earned.
Thanks. So long.
Sounds like a mod to me, Hazardous. Which is a shame, because that sounds like a nice mod. As I've said before, I do feel the interface is a little too clunky for... well, for this.
Sorry to trouble you.
Hey, it's him!
I really have no choice.
Sorry. I remember how I mentioned the repeating faces thing? I've been looking to see the first time the butler was repeated since, and this is the first time we've seen the butler since then.
What is it?
Our ship was wrecked against the rocky shore during the last storm. I've lost everything.
How am I supposed to help?
I haven't even got the coin for the journey home, and with each day's delay, I draw closer to bankruptcy.
Might have guessed you'd come around to coin. So, need a loan? Or is it just alms you're after?
I shall pay you back every lost copper, I swear it. You need only call on me at my address in Novigrad.
Sure.
Fine, I'll help you. I visit Novigrad often enough. Might stop by, see how business is going.
Thank you. You'll find me in the Port District. My name's Johan Bonner.
See you later then.
I'm sure he was completely on the up and up. I mean, he's gonna pay us back, right? I mean, if he doesn't, who cares, right? It's just 150 crowns. Ah, beware, good folk of Skellige. Last week in the moors I found the man. Not moving a bit, so I figured him for a stiff. Turned out he was breathing, but so drunk he had booze instead of blood in his veins. I did not want him to freeze, so while it may be spring, the nights are still cold, and I took him to my house. The moment he sobered up, he drank my whole supply of mead, ploughed my wife, and stole my brother's horse. I'm warning ya. You ever meet a drunk named Audrin? Best slay him on the spot and avenge me. Olaf, lead guard at Caer Trold, would like to make the following known. Someone snuck into the crate armory and stolen the sword known as Kuliu. This yellow-bellied scoundrel who did the deed was seen leaving the village via the southern gate, heading towards the old fort. Whoever helps recover the sword will receive a reward worthy of his effort, and whoever helps the thieves, a death worthy of treachery. Our guards have captured a group of thieves. They would steal sheep to sell on other isles. The Council of Elders hereby orders their right hands hewn off and runes inscribing their lack of honor burned into their foreheads. There's the contract that we just did. Gwent lessons. I am currently taking on pupils for lessons in the playing of Gwent. I shall teach only those who display discipline, a logical mindset, and the will to learn. Those with special aptitude are particularly welcome. Pupils must acquire and supply their own decks. Fist fights, which, we gotta do that, obviously. Now, I believe that's actually it here for the moment. Let me double check something. If I could move, oh god, there we go.
Vagabond. Ow! Watch it!
I would, but your mother called me a vagabond, and
See, Lubas is fixing for
okay.
And not with the black ones, but with us.
If he corrects the...
I wouldn't call them lessons, Consul Hot. More like adventures. That's the idea, Corrales. Although, we might not do it. Just to spite you. Oh, get up, Geralt. You're not dead.
see you're not from round here. What's brought ye to Speakerrug?
Heard you've got a job for a witcher.
Aye. My sister's near drilled a hole in me gut pestering me. I hung a notice hoping she'd let up. Truth be told, didn't really expect anyone to take an interest.
What's this about?
Me sister's betrothed. He's disappeared. Folks say he done a runner. Sis claims she saw a beast carry him off.
Sensing you just don't believe your sister.
They had their ups, they had their downs. Neil's thoroughbred skirt chaser, and Brit's just not easy to be around. But family's sacred. You willing to look into this?
I'll see what I can do. Want to talk to your sister first off.
Brit and Neil's had their favourite spot, cliffs north of the village. Ever since he went missing, she's been wandering about there.
Thanks. I'll go see her. Need to talk to you.
Leave me be.
Did you see Nils die?
I saw a shadow, great wings, like a cloud passing over the sky. Then I heard him scream. Something grabbed him, lifted him up, then flew off towards the caves on the shore. But he was alive, screaming my name.
I'll look into it. Ought to explore those caves Britt mentioned.
Oh.
It's been consistently 90 over here on a fairly regular basis. Just kind of... yeah. It's okay, though. When I take over the world, that'll be one of the top 3 things I try to fix.
We must have angered her somehow.
Just how it.
Stinks of carrion. Necrophages. Drowners couldn't possibly lift Nils into the air.
Small touch, by the way, but you notice how now that we're in Skellige, which is intended to be the 3rd zone you go to, the enemies which were normal enemies in Velen are now basically just the trash for the real enemies. Nice little touch.
Strange scale color. Not your everyday siren. Siren tracks. A very big siren.
You'll have to Google that, Magister. I have no idea. Okay, we'll follow it the other way then, I suppose. Well, yeah, absolutely, Taitu. In fact, it seems to me, and I could be wrong about this, it seems they have more variety of drowners, too. Oh yeah, if it was 100, it would be much worse. Oh my god. I have trouble tolerating 80, if I'm just being completely honest. 90 is at the point where I'm just start having trouble functioning. 100 is a void zone, because that'll actually send me into, like, pseudo-comatose.
Melusine, the mad and dangerous Lady of the Depths. Clearly used to be worshipped here. Same scales as on the altar. Melusine cult didn't appear out of nowhere. The kitten has been living here a while. Went into hibernation some time ago, but it's awake now, and it's hungry. Nils. Gotta be. Some monster dropped him from high up. Britt wasn't lying.
Oh, I feel you, Taitu. Like I said, though, I've said this several times, I just have an intolerance for heat in general. There's a reason why 80 is a bit hot for me, you know what I mean? It's actually funny. I've mentioned to several of my friends and coworkers and whatnot over the years, like, my idea of moving up to Alaska. And the people who don't know me always respond with, but it's so cold! And I'm just looking at them like... The people who do know me just be like, that might be a bit much even for you. It does get pretty cold up in Alaska.
What's your step? Master Witcher?
Found an old echidna in a cave on the shore. Tough beast, but I killed it.
So Britt spoke true? A beast took Nils?
And killed him. Body's in the cave.
I'll have to fetch it. Witcher, would ye mind telling Britt what happened to her betrothed?
Alright.
Fine. I'll talk to her. It's the least she deserves.
Feel like a damn fool now, not believing me own sis. Take this. Hard work deserves payment.
Farewell.
I've actually thought about moving to Washington. Anywhere north, really. I do have family up in Washington, too.
Need to talk to you.
Leave me be.
Your betrothed is dead. An echidna captured and killed him.
Nils.
This won't bring him back, I know. But I avenged him. Killed the beast.
Thank you. Knew all along he was true to me. And so I'll vow to be true to him for the rest of my days. Take this gold. 'Tain't much, but I want you to take it.
No.
Thank you, but I won't accept any coin from you.
Why do you offend me so?
Don't take it the wrong way. There are things even a witcher shouldn't take coin for.
I like that. Why do you offend me so? Well, listen, it's like this. No. Any questions? Oh yeah, normally I have the fans on. Big fans all the time, like 24/7. Obviously I don't want them streaming or recording. That's what the AC is for. And I know that sounds like bragging, but all I'm going to say is that I have lived many places and many times in my life where I did not have AC. It's actually one of the first things I look for in a place I move to nowadays.
I know what you can't longer, but that's what you want.
'Cause, yeah... Especially now that I work at home. Lack of AC would more or less literally make me incapable of working. And that's just not acceptable. I'm currently taking... Yeah, that's the wrong thing. Where's the thing I just looted? Ah, there it is. Brine old, fat as a seal for winter yar, with a maw that reeks of a cesspit, but your head, brilliant! Making a mold of the key with a lump of clay, damned clever. Can't believe I didn't think of it myself. I strolled right into the armory after dark. Coolio was lying there, right what you said, in a case wrapped in oilcloth. What a blade! Fits your hand like a toothsome lass's mammary glands. Points sharp as a needle, hilt set with gems. Stared so hard I didn't hear that fool Olaf coming. He would have caught me had he not tripped and smacked his gob into the ground. Seems the gods are looking out for us. So now we've got to sell the blade, and that won't be easy. Not many got that kind of coin, and them that do don't want to cross Croc. Luckily, my brother Yaron knows a merchant named of Gimre who always finds willing buyers for second-hand goods. They're going to meet in the old fortress near Firesdall. Maybe they'll make a deal with Lugos? He's got heaps of gold, and not a drop of fear for Crite. Cheers to you, old goat.
We'll fix you three, don't you fret.
So anyways.
Harpies got their nest here.
I did that a couple months ago, Harriet. That took a while. For God's sakes, now what? I got good news and bad. I'll start with the bad. Me and Gimri went to Lugos, gave us the welcome and custom demands. Mead and meat aplenty. But as soon as we unwrapped Coolio from the leather and asked how much he'd give us for it, he ripped the blade from our hands and knocked us both on our horses, calling us thieves. He then sent us running from his house, hounds at our heels. Gimri won slow, so they got him. That's fine. Means a bigger cut for us. Now here's the good news. We still got the sword, and I know how to get rid of it. I talked to Steinfin, my brother-in-law, and he'll sell Coolio in the Novigrad and split the coin with us after. Yeah, I know, but I swear you can trust him. I'll give him the sword at the beach at the Whale Cemetery in Ard Skellig. I'll go alone so as not to attract attention. Watch out, Lugos might have sent a messenger to Caer Troll to inform them of the theft. Just in case, hole up somewhere. Maybe with Aunt Hilda? She's not right in the head, but you can rely on her anyways. It's just a stupid sword. Oh, geez, Harriet. It looks amateur from the behind-the-scenes stuff I've seen so far. And that's all I really know. Okay. Well, I guess these aren't intelligent since they willingly charge into a flame. Even a wolf wouldn't do that. I mean, wolves are kind of intelligent, so bad comparison, but whatever, you get the point.
Well, how long you gonna make me wait?
I do love tier questions. No, I really do. came up with a whole system to help facilitate such discussions, for God's sakes. Although, as I've said many times, that was because of the commonality of such questions. Good night, Loner. Have a good one. I like my response to the shield problem. I just wait for them to attack, parry, which throws them off balance, and then I kill them in the face. There's also this method.
But none others prepared to buy. They all fear the uncreated.
Okay. For one day, do I have the ability to pause? That's pretty important. I've been sitting with these damned whale carcasses for ages and still no signs of Steinfin. Either he's wrecked against the rocks or he's left me high and dry. I told Anki not to bring that bastard into this. Now I don't know what to do. Who else would buy this sword? Maybe I should take it back to Kertrold? Maybe Croc will laugh and let it all slide? Remember how it stank in the hut when the rat died behind Ma and Da's bed? Well, it stinks even worse in here and it's cold. Right back soon, or even better. Come. If you make it, that'd be awesome, Hariant. But I doubt it, as you mentioned. Hi, Zeiss. No spoilers, other than the Netherlands section. You can talk about that, obviously. It would be a form of cheating, but this is Tier 5 we're talking about. Well, yeah, that's the point. I mean, basically, the idea of pausing would be... Let me put it to you this way. Here's the value of pausing, functionally, when it comes to a Tier 5 insertion. It makes it so that the game basically becomes a form of a turn-based thing. So, for example, I'd be like, okay, I've done such and such. Pause. And then I could have time to sit there and think and be like, okay, let's see. Maybe if we go do this. And you know, I would have time to sense and think and process so that my active time could be used as efficiently as possible, if that makes any sense. Yeah, the planning phase, exactly, Permeus. That would be the main method by which I would utilize pause powers in a Tier 5 scenario.
Ooh. Hey.
What is it?
Got your sword.
Retrieved the property you lost.
Could you? Thanks be to Freya. Where'd you find it?
Northern part of the Isle, near the whale cemetery. Don't ask me how it got there. Long story. At any rate, don't need to worry about the thieves. They won't steal ever again.
Your reward sure as hell earned it. And a lot a bit more from myself. If Kulyu'd not been found, I'd have had to wash the shame away with my own blood.
Hey.
Kinda, yeah, Taito. Or just like a turn-based game, where you have all the time in the world to think about your next move. I mean, most people don't really think of chess having pause powers, but... So, what do I do in Witcher? Fair, hazardous. And of course, I have actually played speed chess, so that's a thing too. I actually love playing speed chess. Move, slam, move, slam, move, slam. There's something really enjoyable about it. And not just because I'm an impatient bastard.
I want to fight.
Grand. Tell me when you're ready.
Tournament rules. What are they?
The fighters are both upstarts seeking to prove their grit and brawn and courage, and old hands just looking to keep the rust at bay. You get similar bouts in Novigrad and Velen, but those are glorified tavern brawls, you ask me. This here's a minor festival.
Ready to fight anytime, even now.
Like to have some words with the Outlander first. It's about my Erica. See her? I gotta win today. She's watching. I don't stand a chance against you. I know it well. But I was thinking, maybe you'd let me win?
What do you think, guys? I probably have an autosave a bit ago, but I haven't saved right before this. I mean, Floppy Fields has a valid point. I like how he acknowledges how we are just beyond him. And there's no shame in that. It'd be like trying to out-arm wrestle Superman. Okay, that's an exaggeration. But I mean, same point remains, right? If you lose an arm wrestling match with Superman, there's no shame in that. Yeah, sure.
Alright. We'll do it like this. First fight, I'll take a dive. But then we'll go at it again. Best man wins.
Enough of this chatter. Fight!
Yeah, that's a better comparison, Tai, too, I agree.
By the rates of Morhog!
So...
Keep together!
I suppose I'll have to stop being invincible. Hang on. So my first several thoughts, in no particular order, Huthor. First, all the vampires go back to their own world. Second, all of the hostile monsters, necrophages and the like, gone. Removed from the playing field entirely.
Valgord wins! Thanks.
You're good with your hands.
Aye, I am.
Something I've always wondered. What'll you witchers do once there are no battles?
Thinking of trying my hand.
Soon as you're ready, come forth and speak up.
Let's start.
Well then, fight!
You seal fart. Keep together!
What the? Nah, humans are fine.
You've 2 bouts more before you can challenge for the title of Best in Skellige. You've got to defeat Einar, to be found on Feral, and 1 Grim of Helmstein, a village on Ard Skellig. Good luck to you.
Nothing personal, kid. Wonk! I also have to admit, I would put very serious thought into basically, I suppose I should use this hand, getting rid of curses across the setting. Like, as in the capacity for curses to be generated. Basically altering the programming, to put it into simplistic terms.
No challengers to be seen. Ha!
Greetings. You know me?
Aye, I've heard of you. Boland's been me mate since we were tykes, and you done saved his life.
Heard you, hold fights here.
Ye heard right. Try your luck if you like.
I'm ready.
Fight mercilessly, but do it with honor.
Wait, those things are kind of mutually exclusive.
Geralt the Traveler wins it! Freya, damn it. If Brolin's in your nature and you care to continue, there's Einar still to fight.
Warrior.
No, Magister. I'm trying to think of what other sweeping changes I would make, because the general idea, Huthor, would be I'd want to try and make as many large-scale changes with as much large-scale benefit to people as I can, as quickly and as efficiently as I could. And then I want to go and just enjoy it a little bit. maybe go around, enjoy some food of different places. I mean, it's tier 5. I can literally teleport around, right? Do a bit of a, like a food tour kind of a thing, you know what I mean?
Looking for more challengers?
Welcome to our tournament, Witcher. Einar awaits an opponent. Do you wish to face him?
Einar looks like quite the fighter.
He's madman Lugos's bastard. Takes after his da.
So we gonna fight or chatter?
Let's not keep Einar waiting.
May it be a clean and beautiful fight. If you win, you're entitled to fight our champion. Fight!
Exactly, Huthor. Probably go sightseeing. I'd love to just meet a few people, too. See what they think of me. See what I think of them.
Beautiful fight. Congratulations on your victory. Time for your next challenge. If you don't fear fighting a champion, Olaf awaits you on Skellig.
Oh, whatever. Let's go talk to Olaf again. But, like, it would be fascinating just to have a conversation with Ciri, or Geralt, for example.
You've come a long way.
Walk up to Ciri. Hi, Ciri. Yeah, I'm actually from another world. Kinda like you, but a little different. Oh, yeah. You, oh, I mean, I could change my clothing type, too. That's no issue. In fact, I could change it multiple times. Try out a few different fashions.
Could it be a challenger for Olaf?
You'd be like, hey, Ciri. Who are you? Well... Oh, I would get rid of the White Frost, absolutely. Assuming Ciri hadn't already done so. Speaking of which, as much as I hate to do it, I'd probably also have to... Gaunter O'Dim.
You've come to fight Olaf. He's long awaited a worthy opponent.
These tourneys are usually held on street corners, in taverns at best. Got a real arena here.
Built thanks to another's generosity. Berna Brand donated her jewels.
All right. Where's Olaf?
He'll show. Soon as he's got an opponent.
I want to face Olaf.
This fighting's a Skellige tradition. And here on Skellig, that tradition's damn near hallowed.
What makes your tradition special?
Warrior by the name of Duns Ursus once lived on Skellig. Fought monsters with his bare hands. Tourneys held in his honor.
I'll fight as though my life depended on it.
What do they call ye?
Geralt of Rivia.
Geralt of Rivia. Enter the arena. Emerge victorious, and you'll have the honor to face the champion of champions. Damn, these come a strutting, then we gotta drag their corpses out of the inn.
Beg your pardon.
I mean, if we're being honest, we don't really even know what Gaunter actually is. So I suppose part of that would be the nature of what he is.
The blood spilt in this arena bears witness to the clan's strength. The victor today will be champion. Yet any who is bold enough to fight is already a hero.
Shit.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
Someone! You defeated Olaf. It was a fair fight.
Anyone else out there I could fight?
You've defeated everyone there was to defeat in Skellige. Makes you champion of the Isles. Take pride, friend.
It's okay, guys. He had a glass hind.
I've had my eye on you. Tremendous potential. Would you consider dropping these amateur hayseed thumps? Fighting professionally, perhaps?
Not sure I know what you mean.
I seek someone who has what it takes to dethrone the champion of champions. A certain Skelliger now holds the title. I believe you alone stand to beat him. Ask yourself, am I man enough to sail to Skellige and throw down the gauntlet to the champion of champions?
I can sure as hell try.
Excellent. There's an arena on the Isle of Speakerog. That is where the current champion of champions fights. I shall warn them you're on your way to issue a challenge. Farewell.
So, someone asked, would Gaunter be immune to Tier 5? The answer is no. Nothing's immune to Tier 5. That's the whole point. As far as practically speaking, Tier 5 means total control over the setting. So, like, in Forgotten Realms terms, it would be having control over AO, even. You know what I mean? So, no. It would have, in Star Trek terms, it would involve having control over Q, you know? I usually like to think of it as the holodeck level. If you loaded Witcher 3 into the holodeck, yes, you can affect Gaunter O'Dim, because he is part of the program, and you were in charge of the program. Ignore holodeck safety off episodes. Let's just ignore that for a second. Imagine a holodeck that was actually designed properly. What am I doing? This. God. Wake up, Laura. No, Huthor. No.
More trouble.
Although technically Tier 5 safety off is just Tier 4.
Is that so? Who'd you
Something I've always wondered. What do you Witchers do?
Your rocks never crumble. Hey there.
Oh, the mutant, eh? Don't make a face. It's good you're one. Ordinary bloke never stand a chance against the champion of champions. You have come to challenge him, haven't you?
Well, yeah.
Anything I should know about my opponent? Had to fight a bear earlier. Bit surprised.
Go with him. He'll lead you where you need to go.
Behold, the champion of champions.
A rock troll. A very well-developed rock troll. This supposed to be a fist fight?
Aye, fists. Course we provide a dignified funeral, observing the rituals of the Challenger's Creed.
Basically, yes, alright. That's the whole point of Tier 5. Tier 5 is total control of the setting. And I mean exactly what I say when I say that. Total control.
Current champion's a troll. Everybody all right with that? No one's got a problem?
Why would they? He's an honourable troll. Came and said he wanted to fight, and the previous champion agreed. That'd be Zama, known also as Sandylocks. And he got the name even before the troll planted him in the dirt head first.
Troll have a name?
We wager he does, but he'll not reveal it till he's defeated. He's a troll errant, see?
Won't say much if he doesn't survive that fight.
Aye, fair enough. But I wager he don't imagine he'll lose. And maybe, as he's a troll, he don't imagine much at all. Doubt logic's his strong suit.
That is amusing, Hazardous. So, I coined the tier system, Magister, but it's a common enough conceit when it comes to thinking about fiction. Like, most people use the tier system without using the terminology. Like, how many times have you heard someone say, so if you could be anywhere in such and such, but you could only be such and such, where would you pick, right? All I did was make a set of guidelines and rules so we can more easily justify and discuss the entire topic.
I want to fight the champion of champions.
What do they call ye?
Geralt of Rivia. I'm ready to fight.
Geralt of Rivia, time to begin.
Go ahead, Uthor. I'm ready. Strike me down with all of your hatred, and your journey to the continuity site will be complete. What's with the kid? I love that face. This is gonna suck. I can't even predict exactly how horrible that fight's gotta be, by the way.
Geralt of Rivia, you've defeated the champion of champions in fair combat. Earned the right to bear the title yourself. This very eve, I'll send word to the four corners of the world. The title is yours, as is the champion's prize.
Okay, that's got to be a reference or something. Athlak Akadov. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this really quick. Let's go to our favorite part of the entire game. Funland. God, the visual contrast is stark, isn't it? You get to Velen and it's like, oh, puke land. Look at this place. Oh, I hate Velen.
Cloud must have burst.
Why am I back in this terrible place? I mean, I know why I'm back here.
How can I help you?
Interesting lilt in your voice. You originally from Skellige?
Ard Skellig. Spent my whole childhood in Holmstein.
Why'd you leave?
Always had a liking for the smithy. I'd sit there all day taking things in. The heat of the furnace, the smell of the hot steel, the pounding hammers. At 17 winters, my dad told me he could teach me no more. Sent me out there into the world, bid me to hone my craft. A few years on, I had my master crafting papers. Then the war broke out and I landed here.
Take care now.
How can I help you?
Take care now.
How may I assist you?
Went to Undvik a while ago. Found these.
Well, goose kick me. These look like the real thing.
Because they are. Look at the markings. Authentic. How did you get them?
Infinite power.
Long story. Might tell it someday. But right now I need that armor.
Harman ep Grönekan, Lieutenant General of the 2nd Mounted Army. Welcome to our humble establishment. A true honor to host one of such renown. I've heard the General's a connoisseur and collector of armor. This is true, and they call you a master of the craft. All too kind, sir. Truly,
I need a suit of armor, heavy, able to withstand piercing projectiles.
Piercing projectiles? Oh, bolts, you mean? That ain't easy. Needs a special alloy, tempering.
The new tools. We can do it. Stoke the fire, I'll ready the rest.
Bold, your worker. You allow her much. You know how it is, General. Good help's hard to come by. We should go outside. There's business to discuss.
It's always the same. I've had enough.
Enough?
They treat me like I'm nobody. The menial labour. Truth is, the Nilfgaardian, the one Fergus is kissing up to, I'll have to craft his armour. Yours too, for that matter.
So what's Fergus do?
Horseshoes, nails, not much else he can do, seeing as he cocks up simple bungs. But in the end, they call him Master. No one'd ever think I could be a skilled armourer, a human and a woman to boot. A dwarven blacksmith, that's another story.
Aha! I knew it was a reference to. Thank you for looking that up.
If that's the case, stand your ground. Don't let him treat you like this.
I won't. Not anymore. He can craft the Nilfgaardian's armour himself. I'll make another suit, and we'll see which one's better. I need but one thing I can't get on my own. Would you help me?
Depends what it is.
To finish the armour, I'll need to harden it, quench it in a bath. Oil's what we usually use, but I want to use acid.
Kikimoors and Archgriffins spit acid.
Archgriffins? Draconic griffins, you mean? Baron's men came by a few days back, said they'd seen one north of Crow's Perch. It had killed some folk out there.
Don't sound too excited.
Bound to be a notice posted for the Griffin anyway. Could kill two beasts with one stone. Fine, I'll see what I can do.
Bring me the acid and I'll prove I'm better than Fergus. And I'll craft armour for you, lots of it. The kind no other armourer can.
I mean, I do love a good comeuppance. No, really. Let's just do this. Go up to Heatherton. I mean, obviously a dwarf would be better craftsperson. It's a dwarf! Such a thing as a dwarf is good at... Hang on, those are bandits. Sorry, horses. Okay, we're good here.
A hand, that's it. Archgriffins had a veritable feast.
You know, you'd think humans wouldn't taste good. I mean, every human I've ever... What I mean to say is that,
Archgriffin feather. Must have lost it when taking off. Hopefully its nest is nearby.
Oh, for God's sakes. Fine. Die, then. Right, encountered. Right. I'd make a Bragwin joke, but she's not here right now. Oh, hi, Roach. Hi, I've been busy making... You see those bags on his side? Those are literally filled with gold. Just overflowing. Roach is a good horse. Wait, are you a bandit?
Not another step, or there'll be one corpse more.
What?
What are you doing?
What one does in the country. Harvesting. Just switched from wheat fields to battlefields.
Corpses look fresh. Some of these men still alive a bit ago, right?
Aye, they were. Wounded but breathing. Healer could have helped them. But no healers around. Just us.
Yeah, just thieves and murderers.
Your ploughing's starting to annoy me, and I don't like being annoyed.
You know, I bet you like being on fire a lot less. Call it a guess. Come on. Your turn. Goodbye. Now I'm hungry. Nah, I'm kidding. I would never eat bandits. Ugh. Think how filthy that would be. Ugh. Oh, thank you. Be like eating, I don't know, raw fish straight out of the sewer. Oh god, sure, Huthor, even though I usually don't care for drama. No, I have played Witcher 1 and 2. Really, Venters? I've done a rumination on Witcher 1 and 2. Oh, I would never eat a lawyer. Oh my god, no. Whoa. That's just poison. Straight poison.
Ever heard of
In fact, I believe you can actually become a lawyer yourself if you eat a lawyer. That's how they usually pass the bar.
You're back. So, got the acid?
Mm-hmm. Use it carefully. It's about as caustic as things come.
I know. It's burned many a man where I come from. Armor's ready. Now for the last touch. We'll soon see who's better, Fergus or me. Geralt, it's done.
Nice.
Looks very professional.
Welcome, General. Armor's all ready. Came out splendid, if I do say so myself.
Rather coarse. I trust the appearance does not reflect the quality.
General, I've also made a suit, if you please.
What is the meaning of this?
Exactly what it looks like. Joanna crafted a suit of armor for you, General, to prove she's the superior armorer.
For God's sake, Joanna, what do you think you're doing?
Temeria remains a wild land, it seems. Insubordination of this kind is not something we Nilfgaardians allow.
If I may, General, I am Fergus's subordinate in appearance alone. It's what we agreed, as few would ever believe a woman to be a better armorer than a dwarf.
You are right. I, for one, do not think it possible. But you are confident in your abilities. Let us put them to the test. Not on dummies, in live combat.
Oh, quite a crowd.
You there, put on this armor.
I'm just here to show me yours.
Mine is not a request.
General, I crafted this armor for a man. It can't fit me properly.
Then find another to wear it.
Geralt, will you help?
Fine. Hope I won't regret this.
Don your armor, both. I will await outside.
What's funny is this is an interesting insight into both the positives and the negatives of Nilfgaardians.
Came here to show me yours.
I mean, that's a crossbow he's about to hit us with.
Got eyes like a cat.
And yeah.
Catch mice too.
You like armor that stops bolts? Compensate the man. Now, let us see what this other suit is worth.
Gonna live?
Aye. But this armor's rubbish.
Stand. I wish to see the armor.
Not even a dent.
I am not easily impressed, but I must admit you have succeeded, my dear. Where to, dwarf? You must hear this. The forge is now Miss Joanna's. She will also assume all Nilfgaardian army requisitions. Is that clear?
Aye, as day.
Your pay for the armor. I will send a man to collect it.
I'll be going too, methinks. Just get my things.
Wait. We needn't part ways, Fergus. You've been a good helper. We could go on that way. But without the lie.
We did make quite the pair.
Well then, go stoke the fire. We've got a customer. He needs armour fit for a witcher. You weren't certain the armour would protect you. Admit it.
Master craftsmanship's something I trust in, something I strive for myself. Wouldn't have asked for legendary tools from Undvik and Archgriffin Acid if you didn't know what you were doing.
Thank you for trusting me. Give us a few days and your armour will be ready. Come on, let me help you get out of that.
I mean, that's just typical Red Bull, honestly, Huthor. I hate to say that, but it really is. Yeah, let's do this one. Red Bull is very epic, as an epic store, in how they deal with, I don't know how to put that, sports, I guess is just the way to put that. Oh, hey, Bragwin, now you're here. Now I can make the joke. It's too late now. Thanks, Bragwin. God.
Wasn't a fair fight. Didn't stand a chance.
What? Well, now I gotta stab Bragwin.
Blood hasn't even dried. Trail's fresh.
I was going to make the joke that the only human that actually has tasted good in my experience is Bragwin.
Another track. Another victim.
My dearest son, ill is our lot of late. Singa's husband's ship crashed into storm during its last expedition. Bjorn survived, thank the gods. But weeks will pass before his captain built another, and meanwhile life must go on. He weren't taken on for the building, so he's earned no coin. We're eating our winter stocks now, and I fear to think what we'll do when they run out. That's why I'm sending Singa with you to ask for your help on behalf of us all. If you can, find work for Singa, and then Bjorn and I will come to Caer Troll to stay with you. Maybe there's some work for Bjorn with you at the forge, and if work is scarce around Caer Troll as well, then sing a few coppers at least, and I'll give it back with interest once we're out of this plight. I mean, again, Uthor, I hate to say this, but that is...
Master Geralt, a guard spotted you from the tower. They sent me to open the gate.
Why was it closed? Is that famous Skellige hospitality?
Me. 'Tis tradition. After the feast, the Jarls will choose the king, so the doors must remain closed. Only the sons and daughters of Skellige may stay in the castle.
Krach make an exception just for me?
All know what you did for Saris and Hjalmar. Today, you're one of us. Come. Krach awaits.
Didn't actually mean to start this quest.
How's the mood in there?
I guess I have to. Alright, whatever.
Calm. Too calm.
How's that?
We've an adage here at Skellige. At a good feast, mead and blood flow in equal measure. Surely you consider this barbaric on the continent, no?
Not sure. Sounds preferable to dull banquets garnished with court intrigue.
Gotta drag their corpses out of the inn.
Step careful there.
I've as much right to it as you do.
And I'd expect you to support me, not pinch my allies. If an uncrate's to wear the crown, it
should be you, because you've got fur growing on your chin, that it?
Show some of your own, and the Jarls just might listen to you.
Want your mug smacked? Remember, I was left standing last time we crossed fists.
Yeah? So you'll fight the Vilcards with me? Wonder who'll do better, you or Hjalmar the Giant Slayer?
Ah, stop your shite boasting!
Saris! Hey! Ah, damn it!
Bad way to play it out.
Think I don't know that? But you saw her, she's so...
Why, stubborn, fierce, mule-headed, refuses to listen to anyone.
Exactly! True, Arnvald. Me and Saris, we're near twins in that regard.
Don't see Crack. He talking to the Jarls?
No, went to his chambers. To prepare your promised reward, no doubt.
If you've a spell witcher, perhaps you'd fancy some fisticuffs with the Vilcards. Loosen up your joints after your journey.
Maybe later.
You drink last night too?
Got me eye on you.
Respect, Richard.
Try me! They smear your ass with honey yet hero.
Got me eye on you.
To kill a giant's blind.
Ah. I just remembered which quest this is. This is, I don't think we're technically on a quest at the moment, but we're about to be. Oh, I've actually already answered that console hot, and I prefer this kind. I could deal with both, but I'd prefer this one.
Friends we show heart, foes we show our axe. Remember that.
Orders like the Emperor himself needs to hear and approve the
liver?
Why would you eat liver? Ugh.
Rammed our prow straight into their soul. Cutting them was tough on account they were all clad in plate. We pushed them into the...
Speaking of the real politics, because there are real politics playing here.
Feast not to your liking.
This is no feast. It's a farmer's market where votes are bought and sold like sheepskins.
Well, I can enjoy them well enough, console hot. It's a fascinating concept. But as far as personal preference, I'll take this thing over the other.
Svanrig is not gonna vie for support.
Bran's son will not haggle for a crown that is his by right.
Far as I know, crown goes to the claimant who gains the most votes.
That is the tradition, but not all traditions are good. The Isle's care should be entrusted to a single family.
Primogenitor, excuse me.
Take it you have a specific family in mind.
Of course. Bran was the best king Skellig has seen in centuries. The throne should pass on to Svanrige, his true-born son, and then on to his sons.
Because we all know that if you're the child of someone, you are exactly as competent as that someone. Pretty sure that's how that works, right?
What's wrong with voting for your king?
Take a walk. Listen and you'll understand. The claimants already hand out land, promise privileges, titles, favourable judgments. They behave like whores lifting their skirts for every passerby. A king by the grace of votes is no ruler, but a debtor. This must end. We must start by placing Bran's firstborn son on the throne. I hope the Jarls will see the wisdom of it.
Leaving Caer Trolda?
Tomorrow at daybreak. Enjoy yourself, Master Geralt.
May I?
I hate to point this out, but this is arguably the crux of the problem with an elective monarchy. Who elects it? I mean, it's nice to say on paper that the people choose their king or queen, but it's invariably not how that actually works, right? We don't even choose our president here in the United States. No, seriously, we don't. The popular vote doesn't really determine it. There are things, there are positions we do vote for, that we do actually choose in the States. But president is not among them. Now, we do vote for Sean. If we vote Sean in, then he will actually be a man of the people. But if we don't, well, then thank you very much, Sean. As ever and as always, appreciate the sub. Thank you. If you happen to know what you want to put that towards, let me know. And welcome to the 2-year club. So that leads me to the point here. On the one hand, the idea of them being an elective monarchy is like, yeah, okay. But it's kind of not. This is, like I said earlier, this is where the real politics is happening. The Jarls basically balancing and bartering and, dealing with the problem under the hood. Or that's the wrong table. Under the table. Dealing with things under the table, so to speak.
You must even. Come. I've been waiting for you. So, feast to your liking? Any better than your continental balls?
Definitely more to drink.
Ah, there is. Rolled all of it out of my cellars. Double meads, triple, Cintrian plum brandy, a Hackamum spirit that burns the mouth like boiling water. Clan on Crate knows the meaning of hospitality.
Something tells me there's a purpose to your hospitality.
Aye, there is. In the Isles, mead and meat stand to gain you as much support as feats accomplished blade in hand.
If that's true, you can rest easy about how the vote will turn out.
I'll rest easy on the morrow, when the crown rests on one of my children's heads.
And of course, that brings up a topic I don't even want to discuss, Huthor. Should people be trusted with the decision of who should be their leader? And I know what you're thinking. Oh my God, lore! How can you even guess that or perceive that? I'm not going to give my opinion on that matter because it's not Halloween. But I've heard the argument before that there's just enough noise people that dilute people who actually put thought into the matter, to put it bluntly. There was a study done back in, I want to say, the late 80s, early 90s, here in the States. Whether it was conclusive or not is debatable, because all studies are debatable. But the general gist of it was that several people who were voting for that current presidential election voted on the person who was tallest.
Feeling torn between Hjalmar and Saris?
You mean do I have a favorite? Nay. They're as different as fire and water. But Crate blood flows in both.
Between you and me, Hjalmar's not too hot-headed to be king?
Depends on the kind of king you have in mind. Want one who'll send emissaries, move figurines about a map, calculate the most profitable option? Then yes, he's too hot-headed. But Skellige wants a different ruler. The kind who'll drown Nilfgaard in blood. Sooner jump into a fire than surrender. And that is Hjalmar.
If you escalate your attacks, you stand to infuriate Emir. Could regret it someday.
In Skellige, we spit on the notion of peace at any cost.
Think the Council of Jarls will dare to put a woman on the throne?
If you'd asked me some months ago, I'd have laughed in your face. But today I see, and I'm not alone, that Saris has something as rare on the Isles as a hot summer. Patience. Others act, then think. She's different. She thinks things through, the for, the against. But once she takes action, not a force in the world could stop her.
So noted, Sean, and thank you again.
Promised me a reward for helping your children.
And I aim to keep my word. Here, this bauble's been in the family for generations. I give it to you for helping ensure the line endures.
Beautiful craftsmanship. Thanks.
I'm the one. Hear that? Damn it! Hjelmar's probably started another row.
That's not Hjalmar. Let's go.
The real problem, Hazardous, is how do you determine such a thing? Quizzes? So yeah, then this happens. Yeah, wild enraged bear. Not the kind of thing that you should deal with. Ever, preferably. Hello? It's not letting me move. That is very strange. There we go. In my opinion, I'm not going to answer that question, Hazardous. Not Halloween. But I do think that's a valid question.
Cloth! Give me some cloth! Gotta stop the bleeding! Quick!
Da.
Take my cloak. Hold on, son. You'll pull through. A shark grabbed my leg once. Albion!
He's dead.
Crack! Where'd those bears come from, huh? Answer! Now!
Careful how you speak to my dad.
Stow your blade, pup, or Crack will lose a son too. You insult me, Lugas, and now you threaten my son. I will not stand for this. Dan, come here. Come on! Put you down like a rabid dog.
Calm down. Calm down. Enough blood's been spilt. Someone brought these beasts here to murder our sons and brothers. We cannot restore their lives. But we must avenge them. This burden falls upon the host and his offspring.
Find the guilty on Crate, find and kill them, else your clan will be cursed for 100 generations to come.
Anybody see how the bears got in?
Don't matter. I know where to find the guilty already.
Wait! Are you mad? You're gonna kill folk before we've learned what happened?
Learn all you want. Meantime, I'll go wash the shame off our clan.
Hey, the Jarls aren't listening anymore. Stop playing the hero and think for a second.
Our honor's at stake, sis. That can't wait.
Are you listening to me? Someone let those bears in. We must know who, and the answer lies somewhere in this room.
You're right, Saris. I'll help you.
Thanks.
Fine. See you when I return with the traitors' heads.
I'll stay here. Someone must see to everything. Summon the healer, hand the fallen over to their families. Wolf, I thank you.
Ever see anything like that?
No, and I hope I never will again.
Where'd the bears come from? We were all laughing, eating, drinking. Suddenly, a massacre. Torrents of blood on the walls.
What happened before the massacre? Be precise.
Young Lucas bet he could empty a barrel of beer in one go. He climbed on the table, grabbed a pony keg of Centron wheat, and started chugging. His throat bulged like a blowfish, face went red, but he kept drinking. Folks started banging their tankards on the table, shouted, "Lugos, Lugos." Then, from the other side of the room, we heard this roar. We turned in unison as if a coxswain had called. They were there. They were already there. Folks closest to the bears didn't even manage to draw their weapons. They were ripped to shreds.
We'll avenge them, I promise. Know who died?
Drogadar, Drakeborn Du, Blue Boy Lugos, Yalborn, Ottrig. Take some time, mention them all. I heard you helped Lugos, as you helped me with the Hime.
But you could name the claimants to the throne who survived in one breath. You, Hjalmar, and Svanrige.
What are you saying?
Nothing, just yet.
Just pointing out the facts, ma'am.
We've talked enough. Let's look around.
Let me know what you find. I'll speak to the others. Maybe someone saw more than I did.
I mean, coincidences do happen, but you need to pay attention to little things like that.
Get yourself together, Cinna. How'd they get in?
Fang marks, claw marks, broken bones. Hard to say what exactly killed him.
By the way, you heard that earlier. The gates were shut.
All right. What do we have here? Bear's head, but the tongue's short, like a human's. Mouth smells of honey liqueur. Mead. And something else. Something earthy.
Good night, Puzzle Fury. Have a good one.
Bear's like honey. Before it's fermented. Strange. Something under the fur. A tattoo. Shape of a bear paw. Old scar. Looks like it was sutured.
One of the things I like about Geralt, he won't jump to conclusions. Even as of this exact moment, Geralt probably has enough information to deduce what happened. But he bothers to go ahead and look through everything as much as he can to make sure, well, to make sure before he moves forward.
Half man, half bear. Something like a lycanthrope. No full moon, so something else caused the transformation. Maybe something he ate or drank. Mead. Mead with an earthy aroma. Need to check the horns, tankards, and bowls. All the horns are empty. Ottrig. Shit, no more than a kid.
Oh yeah, by the way, this is the other problem with any form of election. This isn't as much of a problem nowadays, at least, you know. But it certainly has been a problem historically for a lot of history. Even when you have elections, that does not preclude violence as inclusion.
Earthy scent from the bear's maw. Something towards mushrooms. Bowls empty, but the scent's in the air. Coming from somewhere else in this room.
In short, even though this was a functionally democratic, or there's actually a term for that, plutocratic, excuse me, a plutocratic situation, it was still the inclusion of violence that then tried to basically change the outcome into a more favorable manner.
Here. Mead spiked with some kind of mushroom. And human blood. Saris, come here.
A guard saw what happened. Those weren't bears. They were...
Men who transform into bears.
Uh-huh. Berserkers.
Berserkers?
Berserkers?
The Skald's name for warriors who change into animals in the midst of battle. Stuff of fairy tales, legends. But it seems to make sense, right?
Mm-hmm. Almost. We were at a feast, not on a battlefield. Think I know what caused them to transform. The mead they drank. Smell this. Mead spiked with blood. And something else. Thinking it could be a mushroom, but I don't recognize the type.
Hjort might help us. Few druids know herbs better.
Can't hurt to try.
A disgrace. The kind we've not seen since the Red Funeral.
Fewer died then. and on a Jarl's son among them.
If this turns out to be Crack, I'll twist his head off.
If Crack appears to be guilty, we'll try him and keep him with our customs.
Aye, and then I'll twist his head off.
Wanted to talk to you.
What about?
What about? What do you think, Holger? Is not here about salted herring or the currents round Speakerog.
Flap your gob at me again, and I'll shut it for good.
Calm down. You act like rabid dogs, not Jarls of Skellige. Speak, Witcher.
How'd all of you manage to survive?
What you saying? Eh? That we're the ones schemed this up?
Shut your gob. You're clucking as foolish as a gander hatching eggs. We survived because we're the best warriors in Skellige.
You're both damned fools. If not for the Witcher, none of us would be alive.
Any ideas who might be behind the massacre?
Nilfgaard. They're the most again. But we'll avenge our sons. We'll burn their shores from Nazea to Atolia.
Wonders abound in the Nilfgaardian army. Towers with wheels, Zerrikanian mercenaries on humpback horses. But I've not heard of them having trained bears.
This was Crack, I tell you. We're in his castle, he let him in.
Wasted words, Slugos. I don't know who the traitor is, Witcher, but I'll tell you, it's none of us. We all lost loved ones.
So long.
Oh, time to go to war against Nilfgaard. Yeah!
Freyr, our mother, may the sea swallow the traitors. Freyr, our lady.
Mind if I interrupt?
Already have? What is it?
Someone spiked one of the mead barrels with blood and something else. An herb or a mushroom. Saris said,
"Give me the horn." I know the smell. A mushroom. Mardrome.
Mardrome related in any way to berserkers?
Aye, but only in the tales told to children as they are put to sleep on cold winter nights. Warriors who ate Mardrome were said to transform into beasts when consumed by battle rage, but as I said, it's only...
Only a legend, I know. Still, I find it easier to believe than some story about bears appearing out of nowhere. Saris wasn't lying. You know your fungi.
I do. Especially those which affect the mind, soothe it, summon waking dreams. Odalric suffered for years. I tried to help him in various ways, initially with prayer, then with poppy milk.
But he's done with that now, right?
It's not that simple. But we'll wean him off it yet.
That is surprisingly smart. For those of you not aware, if you have been taking a particular medicine for a long period of time, and you just go cold turkey, that's actually pretty damaging usually, as your body's just like, whoa! You wean someone off something over time. And I like that he's intelligent enough to cognate that. That's just a very neat little thing I just wanted to comment on.
Mardrome. Never heard of it.
You have another name for it on the continent. Silasaib, I believe.
All right. Peasants eat it to soothe pain.
Udalric tried it too, but only a few times. In larger doses, the mushroom causes visions, nightmares.
Yes, the last thing Udalric needed more of. Thanks for your help.
Also, nice acknowledgement of the Udalric quest there.
The taste of human flesh and a substance that triggers visions. That well could have caused the rage. Maybe even the transformation.
Maybe. Hard to believe someone spiked the mead here in the hall, though, in front of all those witnesses.
You're right. I helped prepare for the feast. I'd have noticed. It might have happened before they brought the drink upstairs. In the cellars, maybe. Come on, we could find some clues there.
Hello, Niscosta. Good to see you. Nah, the game's terrible, as you can tell. And sure to get even more story... I mean, it's almost a guarantee it's going to get even more story positives.
Elsewise, the warriors will take matters into their own hands. Castle's a buzz already.
Think they'd attack Croc openly?
my father or each other. All in the finest Skellige tradition. Haven't had a good civil war in ages.
Good night, Vigilant. Have a good one. I know, Publius. If only this... God. If this game had the writing of Anthem but was the same length, we might be at 30 negatives right now.
Knew there'd be trouble. It was all too calm.
Funny. Arnvold said the same. For a feast to be any good, mead's gotta flow, but so does blood.
I'd say he got his wish.
Thank you, Frank Giappa. Much appreciate the sub, as always. Thank you. If you happen to know what you want to put that towards, just let me know. Skellige has been, I believe, 3 positives? Hang on, let me look at the list here. Where's the list? Where's the list? Ah, no, it's actually only been 1 so far. But I can think of at least 2 more that it's probably going to be, although I've already actually given 1 of them so far. We haven't even really touched the main quest yet, though. Not really. We talked to Yennefer, and that's basically it.
I really hope Hjalmar's doing something useful, not just looking for a fight.
Relax. Your brother's impetuous, not stupid.
We keep the poison at the cellar's other end down below. Come, I'll show you. The stench! Is that vodka?
The Hackerman spirit.
Right behind you.
Someone ruined several barrels of the finest. Blood and mushrooms. Think we can find out where this barrel came from? Looks different. What the? Shit.
The spirit! There's another exit behind the barrels, but they're too heavy. We'll never move them.
Don't intend to. Quick. Medallion's humming. Nice of power. It's gotta be.
We might have been burned alive.
Somebody's damn desperate to bring our investigation to a quick end. This a secret passage?
One rarely used, more like. When Hjalmar and I were little, we'd play here. Once... bygone days.
When I get my hands on that pyromaniac.
Let's think. They had to use the entrance we used. Maybe they left some prints behind.
Maybe. When the door slammed shut and the fire broke out, did you hear a bottle shatter too?
No, but I've no Witcher senses at my disposal. You must hear the hair growing on my head.
I try not to eavesdrop. Anyway, entrance is worth checking. Come on.
Dun, dun, dun. The plot thickens. And yeah, nice. That was actually a pretty good usage of lack of music, especially given where this was going. And you notice now music is playing.
Someone walked through the mead.
Yeah, his voice... I like Geralt's voice actor
Need to find another clue nearby. Something else to follow.
quite a lot, but his fake cough is extremely fake.
Must have felt his clothing rip, but was in a hurry.
What's this?
Piece of cloth.
No, it can't be.
What is it?
Arnvald's tunic. Only he wears this kind.
Sure about that?
Saw him in the main hall with the servants. Let's go.
I mean, take the cloth with you, or don't. That's cool, too. Yeah, I've very, very rarely seen a no music moment, as in when it's improper, in this game. It has happened maybe 4 or 5 times. A lot of it was in Velen, actually.
Look, it's him!
Grab a horse, we'll chase him down.
Why do I need a horse and you don't? Well...
Giddy up.
Ironbolt! Stop, damn it!
Doubt he'll listen.
When I get my hands on him... Ha! Got him!
Why do you betray them? Talk or I'll finish what I started.
No uncreate should ever sit on Skellige's throne. I know you better than others do. You're hot-headed, irresponsible. Skellige needs stability, a strong king. Not the kind a band of drunken jarls will choose.
Curious. Never heard you voice that idea. But I do know one who never stops saying it.
It's Berna Bran, isn't it? You were never a good liar, Arnvald.
What was her motive?
It's obvious. She schemed this up to get rid of the other claimants. Slander our clan in the process. If she succeeded, Svanrige would have been left, the only claimant to Skellige's throne.
We need proof. Your word against Berna's, that's not enough.
Arnvald, help us. And I'll ask my dad to grant you an honorable death. I'll insist.
I've letters from her. Instructions. How to poison the mead. But she never signed them. There's no seal.
Will that be enough?
It'll have to be. We shouldn't delay. Time to gather the Jarls.
I've assembled the Jarls in council as you demanded, Saris on Crate. You claim to know who's behind the slaughter at Caer Trolda. Speak then. The blood of Skellige's sons and daughters. Whose hands does it stain?
Berna Bran's.
The lass is mad. Do you think anyone will believe you?
You had them serve poison mead to the berserkers.
I beg your pardon. The servants of Caer Trolda are not mine to command. 'Twas your father who called for the feast, who assembled the guests.
There's reason in these words.
Have you any proof to confirm your accusation?
I've better. I've a witness. Arnvald.
Saris speaks true. Berna commanded me to poison the maid. When Saris and the Witcher descended into the cellars.
You betrayed us. The clan that took you in.
Good man. He's a servant to Uncreate, a lackey. He will say what they command him to say. He would lie for them even were he to pay for it with his head.
Berner speaks true. Arnvald has served at Caer Trolder ever since I remember. Noily, look a dog.
I hate to interrupt this wonderful scene, but I have to comment on this because you'll notice that she's pulling the typical defense. The I'm not defending my point defense. It's when, rather than trying to actually make your point, you do nothing but attack the other person's point. Now, we could argue how necessary or correct that is from a legal perspective, burden of proof, etc., etc. But when it comes to real-life people in reality land, in my experience, generally when you do that type of deflection, as Permius so accurately puts it, that's a red flag. Also, very minor aside, I like how they bothered to have a ripped version of his shirt just for these scenes.
I can vouch for Saris. She's telling the truth.
You? Yet another Uncreate lackey. Did Saris entice you to cooperate? I can imagine how. Or has Crack paid you to smear my name?
What did you say?
Calm yourselves.
After what I saw on Speaker Rock, I trust the Witcher. More than I do you.
You've that right. But it's no proof of my guilt.
Got one more piece of evidence.
A letter from Berna to Arnvald, instructing him how to spike the mead.
It lacks my signature. It lacks my seal.
But perfume soaked through the parchment. A very strong scent, you know. Still to be sensed.
Is this your proof, lass? Is this what you call evidence of my supposed treason? Don't make me laugh.
One last thing I want to point out. Her son's reaction to all of this has been wonderful.
Burna's right, Saris. 'Tis all precious little proof of her wrongdoing. Alas, your brother Hjalmar also has not presented anything that could clear your family's name. We've but one path left to us. Holger, Lugos, it's time we quit this damn castle. Come, we must decide what punishment Clan Uncrate will face.
I'm sorry, Saris.
Wait! Mother, you bade me to leave the hall before the feast. Why?
Son, not now.
Why did you do it? How did you know? How? He stands silent. You gave Saris no credence. Gave the Witcher no credence. But you must give credence to a son who accuses his own mother. The massacre was her doing. She shamed herself, me, the family, the clan.
Svanrika, I did it for you. Only for you.
You admit to this deed. As the eldest of the Jarls, I cleanse the name of Clan Uncrate, and you, Burna Bran, I sentence to death. You will be chained to a rock to perish of hunger and thirst, and seafowl will peck apart your remains.
Yeah.
Burna had a lust for power, I knew this. But so strong as to commit such a crime.
What about Svanrika? What's his fate?
He'll lose his home, his name, his honor. He'll choose exile. Or death. But enough. Whatever comes, we must endure. I thank you, Geralt. Again.
No need. Again.
I'll not take any more of this modesty. This is a land of heroes. Let this remind you of that. And now, I must ride for Gedinath, for the Jarl's Council. Time to pick a king.
What do you think? Who'll get the nod?
Come with me, see for yourself. All may listen to our deliberations.
That's one of the things I do like about their particular electoral process. Even though it is still effectively a plutocracy, at least everyone can actually listen to them debate it. Although there is, of course, debate that goes on under the table, but, you know, it's better than some places do.
I do have a horse in the race. Can't refuse, to be honest.
As I thought. Well, let's go. We're just in time.
They've already started.
Weren't long ago, we gave King Bran back to the sea. Today, our mourning ends. Today, by the grace of the gods and the clans, a new ruler takes the crown. Let us swear her fealty.
Yeah, another bad audio mixing, by the way. I told you it was a consistent issue in the vanilla game.
I know some would see another in my place. I thank those who stood at my side. Here, beneath the sacred oak, I pledge to be a good queen to the ones and the others. I want peace and prosperity to reign in Skellige. And I count on you to help me fulfill that dream.
Saris! 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 Saris!
Yeah, sorry, Lugos.
You did well. Why would I? Show them that in Clan on Crate even the lasses are fit to take them home.
But I beat you.
If it had to be so, I'm glad it were you and not someone else.
Congratulations. You'll make a great queen.
Thank you. Wouldn't be here if it weren't for you.
What's the new Queen of Skellige planning?
To listen, learn, and listen again. Then we'll see.
Good plan.
I must unite the clans. I'd rather avoid war, but if Nilfgaard aims to attack, we must repel them together.
Drummond folk might be a problem. I saw Lugos during the ceremony. Furious, to say the least.
There's always been strife between our clans. But I must try and talk to him. Just might bring him around.
Keep my fingers crossed. Farewell. You alright?
So. Anywhere you cut it, I was bested by a wench.
Not just any wench.
Aye, true. Suppose if it had to be so, I'm glad it was Saris.
Not even a little proud of her? Come on, admit it.
A bit, aye. She's the blood of me blood, bone of me bone. But don't tell her I said so. Liable to puff out her chest. Which would do her good now I think of it. We showed Lugos. That's most important. Did you see that rage grip him? I thought he'd burst.
Yeah, surprised to see him in that much of a huff, actually.
Our clans have been butting heads, chests, bellies forever. It's the lay of the land.
Take care, Hjalmar.
One of the things I do like is he's pretty magnanimous in defeat.
To battle shoulder to shoulder with a witcher.
Lugos was furious.
I'm not sure if she is, because I've never seen the other side of it, of course.
Heard you calling.
Aye, because I was. I thank Mother Nature she didn't skimp on my voice, as she did with some others I know.
See, one of us, a Gil, went mute all of a sudden. No spell or potion helps him. But it is said strong emotions and experiences can restore speech. So I thought perhaps you might. I'll pay you, of course. Give you an excellent Gwent card.
Suppose I could try, but I wouldn't even know where to start. You want me to scare him?
Aye, good. That should do it. Scare, irritate. Whatever you wish, provided you do him no harm. You can usually find a Gil near the Hallowed Oak. The man is probably praying in his heart for a cure.
What? Jesus Christ, what? God dang, this audio balance. Do you see why I gave the other negative for it, Hazardous? My God. Alright, so let's go here, actually. We're going to wrap up a couple of loose ends. The intention is tomorrow I want to mainly focus on the main quest. Like, possibly to the end of the game. Like, once we finish wrapping up Skellige's side quests, we're kind of done with side quests. At least until we get to the expansions. Oh, there he is. No, that's a guard. Where's the smith? Hey, smith dude. Yeah, let's wait a little bit.
What's this? That's certainly high on
adornment. I engraved it. Melt this blade and food. Greetings, White Wolf. I suspected you'd come by. Bah, I was sure of it.
Oh, yeah?
The best stocked armory in all Skellige is right here at Caer Trolde Castle. Everyone knows it.
I'll gladly see for myself.
Take your time. Give them all a careful look.
So long.
Friends we show heart.
Interested in a weapon? There's a tale behind every item I've got.
Notice how the sound balance is still kind of off.
think I have something that was meant for you.
Letter from me mum. Says here me sis was bringing it. How'd you come by it?
Came across some bodies in the woods, victims of a monster attack. Found this letter on one of the dead. A woman.
Singer's dead. Ah. Told her and Mom so many times. Come over, live with me. No, they had to stay on Pharaoh. I gotta send someone to fetch her body.
I'm sorry.
Thanks for bringing word. Not every man will go to the trouble. Here, take this.
God dang, what I might have to do to convince it to change soundtracks. Notice I'm at the point of getting 1 experience from quests, by the way. That's the level I'm at. Loud music. Super loud music is super loud. I've already fast traveled. Let's try to knock this out really quick here. Let's try to knock this out really quick. Just to get it out of the log.
Let me hold your sword.
Nothing like a good lamb chop. Hey, I missed yesterday's fight. I heard
Oh my god, game, come on. There we go.
Greetings.
Business is booming for as I can see.
Better believe it. Every man and his hound wants to fight in the cursed arena.
My cut of the proceeds must have grown sizable.
And how? Here.
Always a pleasure doing business in Skellige.
Come again, eh? Great things are bound to happen here. Mark my words.
I hope they do. Good luck.
Well, before I save and quit, I do want to address one thing. Ow! I want to check something really quick. But that's that. That doesn't matter. That's something I'm waiting on. And that's something I'm waiting on. So, what's this one? We'll do that for the moment. So here, you can enjoy the music for one last bit before we reload. Because this is going to be a trip. Honestly, I feel like dealing with the Klingons is mostly a matter of fixing the corruption in their politics than anything else, Uthor. Yeah, you thought I forgot about your question, didn't you? Because there's nothing really wrong with Klingon society. Not really. They don't... I mean, yeah, they pain a bit and they fight a bit, but there's actually not a whole lot of excess killing or sacrificing or whatever. It's more along the lines of, you know, the fake honor thing, which is actually fine, relatively speaking. The real problem is the massive amount of corruption that exists within their political circles. Yeah, but nowhere near at the same level of the Skelligers, for example, Uthor. And to be completely blunt, I feel like the killing problem is actually a byproduct of the corruption problem. Virtually every single time we see the Klingons end up killing someone as a political thing or as a cultural thing, it is specifically related to some kind of corruption. We saw a great deal of that during the conflict with the Duras, for example, in Redemption. There actually isn't, Magister. Or is there? Hang on. Is there an auto-run button question? That's a very good question. I don't think there is an auto-run. Huh. That's a negative. I can't believe I didn't even think about that till now. That is a negative to gameplay. Boop. See, now the thing is, sometimes I debate that, because not every game really needs an auto-run. But this game is huge, and there is a tremendous amount of terrain to cover. So, I mean, you could argue that the fast travel things kind of mitigate that, and that is certainly true. I would agree. Let me put it to you this way. Lack of auto-run is a problem. It's a problem for dungeons, it's a problem for going and exploring areas where Roach can't fit, it's a problem for cities, right? It's a problem. If I'm being completely blunt, if not for the other features this game has to mitigate it, it would be a second negative. Because of the size and scope of the game. Because the auto-run thing is just a constant, non-stop thing. Because, I mean, this is just Skellige. Imagine what if the game didn't have the waypoint system of the tree, of the, whatever those are called. Imagine if it didn't have the flight paths. And imagine if it didn't have Roach and the nature of being able to summon Roach and all that. Think about that for a second. That would be terrible. Can you just picture that? No flight paths, no Roach. Just picture that. That might even be a third negative if that were true. But those methods are in place, and that they do mitigate the problem substantially. So. Now, Hazardous says, why not just hold down the run button? Well, see, that's kind of the same problem. The whole problem is holding down a single button for a long period of time. That's one of the biggest problems with auto-run.
Free me, I beg of ye.
Why'd they chain you here?
I didn't like old Grettir. No, but I didn't want his death. Free me, please. I was framed for murder.
Hell, a lot of older games have auto-run, too. Even before WoW. Going back into the 90s, I would say. So what do you think? Should we free him? Let's see. Should we free this guy? Now, what's funny is I'm pretty sure we should, if for no other reason than it leads to another quest. Let me double check here. But yeah, one of the things I find strange about this quest is you're just made to decide. There's no information, there's no nothing, it's a coin flip. I'd be more irritable if it wasn't such a side quest. I mean, you really have to go out of way to find this one. I mean, there is going to be information available in Escosta, but we're not there yet. We'll free him. Be free.
Guess I believe you.
Thanks. I won't forget this. I've no way to pay you, but if we ever meet again, I'll get you back for what you done.
Can you walk?
Don't fret about me. I just need to rest a spell, then I'll be fine. Thank you for your help.
Yeah, I gotta admit, dying that way would really suck. Just horribleness. It's not going to tell me. Of course it's not going to tell me. Yeah, where is Birna, by the way? I actually thought this was her, but I was wrong, obviously. I'll just hang out for a second. Because the next place I want to go is up that mountain, so I'll rather stay down here for the moment. I thought she was on this coast. Apparently I'm wrong. If she's on the rocks to the southern inner side, which would be... right here? No. That can't be right. Let's see, lighthouse is right here. So, like right here then? Okay. Well, in that case, let's do this really quick. And then pull this up, and then destroy the world. Oh, hang on. Before we do that, I do want to touch base on one other thing. Good night, Lycon. Have a good one. Yeah, I'm streaming a little late today to make up for the nap I took. I hope you can forgive me. I was quite exhausted. I think I overshot it. Come on. There we go. So it's either up here or exactly behind me. One of the two. Looks like it's behind me. I mean, does anyone even like gargoyles? Honestly. Terrible show. Where the hell am I? Yeah. No, no, no! Come on, I was so close! I was so close. Okay, different angle. Oh, it's not gonna let me. I need to get literally over this mountain. Frickin' mountain being in my way. If I could destroy this mountain, I guarantee you I would. There. Literally on the other side of this mountain. I wasn't even kidding.
Maybe Lars will bring some hare hides back from the hunt. I could make
Decent folk live here.
And I could use a fox pelt on me car.
I'm bored.
Sova, what do you want from your man?
I want him to take me hunting instead of leaving me to my
What do you want from me?
I'm a better shot than
You're
he
looking
is.
ill. You kiss neither and bothering folk.
Good day, Myron. What are you up so late for? I don't actually know where the person is I'm looking for here.
Every man on the continent's so bloodless.
Ah!
Sorry. Yes, we're going to see horses, Ninny.
I just spoke about seducing the lasses.
Yeah, whoop, that's probably her.
Shame about Greta. He was a good man.
Aye, and he didn't drink much.
As for that poor son, Jorg, chaining him to the rocks, that was too great a punishment. Should have lashed his skin off.
Don't say that. My brother was good.
Dear, you don't know what you're saying. Your brother was a vile man, a criminal. The quicker you forget him, the better.
Fix the music. God.
What happened here?
My brother? They chained him to the rocks because of me.
Why because of you?
Cause I didn't like me Uncle Grettir. He was fat and stank. Once, I told my brother that Uncle did bad things to me. Jorg flew in a rage and killed him. Then they caught him and tied him to the rocks.
That's how your laws work. A murderer has to be punished, even if he killed to save someone else.
But I lied to Jorg. Uncle did nothing to me. He stank and I didn't like him. That's it. And now Jorg will die because of me.
Your brother will be fine. I freed him. He's bound to come and find you soon.
Truly? Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'll never tell another lie. I swear it.
Unlikely. But I don't even want to talk about that topic. Just, yeah. At a certain level of accusation, people stop thinking and just start presuming that you're guilty. And that's, I think, all I'm going to say about that. Are you evil? Okay, just checking. You saw, I just walked up and said, hey, hi. That's all I did. They decided to try and kill me. Not the smartest move they could have made. There was a guy in a cage? Hang on. Hang on, hang on. I didn't even see someone. Hang on. Oh my god, there is a guy in the cage. Be free.
Hey, grey hair! Let me out, eh? You've got to find the key!
Even Arathrobo wants me to free you. That's how much you shall be freed, sir. There's the key. Where's the key? There it is.
Thanks, mate. Fairland, you know the place. I've my forge there. Come and visit, I'll have a reward for you.
No thanks, but you're free. Be free. Thank you very much, Arathrobo. As always, appreciate the sub, thank you. Do you know what you want to put that towards? Because if you don't, well, then you're going to have to suffer the same fate the pirates did. And also these things. I mean, it's a quick death. Alright, where is she? Whatever. New marker, hidden treasure. So hi, lady.
Horrific death.
So, you just killed a lot of people to advance your political career. What are you gonna do next? She doesn't seem very talkative for some reason. Oh, well. Oops, wrong button. There we go. Let's just make sure that they get a nice cooked meal when they come by later. There we go. There we go. We're good. We're good.
Lars will bring some hare hides back from the hunt.
Like pickled herrings?
And
May
use
I
books they'll
eat
bring
them?
You got it, Arathrobo. Give me a second. So noted. Yeah, honestly, I imagine she drowned. Which is horrible, but actually probably less horrible than the other fate that was waiting her there, so... I mean, you know how it is, right? Do you want to be shot in the foot or shot in the leg? Take your pick. And then Geralt died. Seriously, Venters? Wow. I'm sorry, we're all out of not being shot. Now I've gone too far, haven't I? Yeah, I have. It's probably in the grave, isn't it? Listen, we didn't expect cake to be so popular, alright?
Placed an illusion here.
Thank you, Kira. Glad you're still alive and not horribly dead. Seriously, she gets a pretty bad end.
Something here. Where's that artifact Kira gave me?
Which is why no one will come crashing in on us.
Hi. Hello. How are you? Nice place. Kind of. I'm lying. It's actually a pretty crappy place, but you know, whatever. Trying to be polite, you know. Nice cave you got here isn't something I get to say all that often. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I thought.
These continental dandies come a-strutting them. We gotta drag their corpses out.
Yes, we've saved Ciri. And the world. I guess the multiverse. All the dimensions? I don't know. We saved everyone is what I'm trying to say. Everyone is super saved.
Sawmill looks abandoned.
What? Did I seriously just get a quest? I did. Okay, sure. You've broken all the rules, Magister. I'm afraid we're gonna have to kill you now. Good night, Uthor. Yeah, I'm kind of pushing it myself here, but, you know, whatever. Actually, I think this is probably a good time to cut it, honestly. We're just doing this, and then another side quest really quick. And that actually should be it for side quests, other than the island we haven't been to yet. So, we're going to go ahead and chop this. And we'll continue tomorrow with more side quests.